Hi, I'm Gavin Cash, and I'm playing Clint Brazos, scion of the Morrigan.
Hello, I'm Gary, and I'll be playing Oliver Bright, the scion of Ogma.
Hello, I'm Sticker, and I play Coda Massaquoi, the scion of the Steppe.
And I'm Bloodied Porcelain. I will be your storyteller for the evening. Welcome back, players.
Thanks for welcoming us back.
Hello.
Y'all are entirely too excited considering how banged up most of you are.
We're fine.
Last episode, you were on the beach of Guinea looking out at the liquid that makes up the ocean for an underworld that exists entirely under the ocean. It's weird. And as you were standing there, you began to see these ships in the distance before a massive tentacle rose up out of the water and lashed out at you up on the beach. Clint attempted to engage with it, only to find that it was very, very hard to damage. Though he managed to hit it a few times, it just didn't really do any good. In an effort to save her bandmate from getting bludgeoned by something that he couldn't seem to muster the strength to be able to do any real damage to, Coda utilized the sun purview and her sword, I believe, to effectively create a light beam effect at this table full of food off to the side. The tentacle followed and lashed out at it and nearly crushed Brahm the dragon in the process. But that ended up proving to be an interesting and worthy idea because shortly afterwards, Clint hurled his spear out across the water, while Coda used her abilities to propel that beam of light at the spear and make it light up really brightly. Clint aimed for one of the ships, and you all watched as this massive tentacle rose up out of that liquid and came down on one of the ships and crushed it. And you got to hear the screaming of men being plunged into a watery grave. Not long after, a fog began to roll in, and you all heard the ominous howling of Fenris wolves moments before the wolves themselves came out of that mist and fog, that obfuscation. And on the back of one of them was Gwen. You all engaged in a brief battle. I believe Clint hurled his spear again, put a hole in Gwen's shoulder, which seemed to tick her off a little bit because the next thing anyone knew, she jumped at Clint, hit him once, and he was on the ground. Coda answered that strike with one of her own, which knocked out Gwen. Before her own wolf began to drag her back out of the fray to safety. There was a little bit more back and forth with wolves harrying all of you and Oliver using the juice of the apples of the Hesperides to bring Clint back. And then Clint got the bright idea that rather than fight the wolves, he would just throw one. He'd just hurl one out onto the water and see if he could feed a Fenris wolf to whatever it was that those massive tentacles were coming off of. And it worked. At which point Gwen and her wolf companions decided it was time to make a tactical withdrawal, live to fight another day. And I believe as she was parting, she used a knack, overt order, and told Clint to punch Oliver. Or I'm sorry, to stab Oliver. Thankfully, there was some clever maneuvering by Clint and Oliver to help make it as non-damaging as possible. Unfortunately for Oliver, Clint still hits really hard, even when he tries to stab him with a toothpick. And Oliver is currently unconscious on the ground, having been hit in the shoulder by his friend hard enough to like send his body into shock. And that's where we will pick up. Oh, and Coda is facing a small horde of zombies that are shuffling her way.
Very fun.
Mr. B, come on, wake up.
Are you guys okay back there?
I mean, I hit him. I didn't mean to hit him that hard.
Did you really go down? She's like
Yeah.
still fighting. It's like,
He absolutely did. Like if you glance over your shoulder, Oliver is unconscious in the sand.
Clint's on his knees beside him, just trying to shake him awake. Come on, get up.
Do you have smelling salts?
No, not on me. Do you?
I'm a little occupied.
Yeah, okay. Oh, shit. All right. I'm gonna come help you out real quick.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Coda, let's see just how good you are. These are zombies. They're not difficult to hit, and you don't have to do very much damage. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you just hit them, your sword's base damage is enough to knock any of them out.
Mm-hmm.
Make me like 3 dex and melee rolls.
3 dex and melee. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
3 plus 4, 6. That's 1. It's 2. And that's 3.
Excellent. You are going to handle this pretty easily by yourself. Would you like to describe to the people at home how you deal with this small horde of zombies all by yourself?
Yeah, so Coda is going off of her high / I don't want to say it's bloodlust, but this refueled fire in her. So she's just kind of like just slashing, and then as she slashes, will switch to a bat again and like just start like bonking a whole bunch of them, like knocking their knees out. And she just kind of almost like dancing through them in the way that she's fighting. So it'll be like a slash, a swing, and then we'll like bounce her bat to her other hand and like bonk their knees out, and like she's really just having fun at this point. So it's like truly, because I believe her sword, besides the name she gave it, the name it was given to her with is called Desert Dancer. So she is truly dancing in this moment. Only thing, it's not the desert sand, it is the tropical beach underground sand, but she's dancing
underwater. But no, that's good. That's awesome. I had a thing I was going to say and I don't remember what it was, so it obviously wasn't that important. While this is going on, Clint, what are you up to?
Clint is just trying to wake up his friend now that as he takes a moment to shake Oliver and then looks over to watch as there's just a lovely display of dexterity and acrobatics and death. He kind of nods for a second. That was really good. Mr. B, wake up! And I'll slap him across the face.
It's just smack him. It's fine. Excellent. I would like you. How mean do I want to be?
if the damage overflows, surely that'll make him wake up, not
They'll
go
be like, yeah, you're
worse,
just gonna make me
right?
take lethals now.
Well, that's not what I was going for. I was trying to figure out if I'm going to make you roll intelligence or not. Yeah, roll your intelligence. Unfortunately, you don't have anything in medicine or science. So
I could help with this, but I'm unconscious.
correct. It's a bad day when the keeper of the brain cells is unconscious.
That it is.
On my 1 dice, I got 1 success.
Well, that's something. Okay. You do not have smelling salts or anything like that, but it occurs to you as you were kneeling there over him that there is the remnants of a table of spiced foods and like sweet tea and things. There might be something over there that you could use to kind of wake him up with, whether it be to like pour something liquid on his face or to hold something particularly spicy under his nose.
All right, so Clint grabs what he assumes to be a bucket and fills it with. If we've got drinks there, right? So there's got to be ice in the bucket to keep some drinks cold.
So here's the problem.
Uh-oh.
You guys exploded the table. There isn't a whole, like, everything is there,
true.
but it's kind of in pieces and a mess. And Brahm is there and looks incredibly annoyed. He's still kind of half buried under the table because nobody has bothered to try and like free him from his prison of discarded table fragments and things. So
Oh, sorry, little friend. We'll get you out of there in a second. Hold on. And Clint will just grab bottles of whatever still has liquid in it and rush back over to Oliver and just start pouring them as many as he can onto his face. Come on, wake up, Mr. B.
Oh
I love that there isn't even like a process. It's not like a couple of drops. It's just dumping bottles onto his face.
He's like going for the splashing him with a bucket of water, but we don't have a bucket of water. We just got bottles of booze.
Oh, I love everything about this. Okay. Oliver.
Yes.
Roll me stamina and fortitude, please.
Okay. Fortitude is a skill that's right there. Okay. Two successes.
All right. You your eyes flutter open. You are awake. So you can mark off the incapacitated box, but the others are all still full of damage. It's going to take time to recover.
Why is my face sticky?
Oh, well, that was probably the raspberry liqueur. But I mean, it looks good on you. It's got a nice shade to it. We'll wipe you up real quick and we'll start wiping them down. Come on, Mr. B. We got to get you up.
Clint, everything hurts right now. I'm gonna need a second.
Oh, okay. Well, you just sit right there and here, let me turn you on your side so you can watch. And he'll point Oliver towards the zombie decimation or what remains to be seen of it.
I love everything about this.
Watch the way she works.
She is very impressive, Oliver. You've seen Coda fight before, but it's always been a little bit, it's almost kind of feral usually. And this is like she is kind of in her element. It reminds you a little bit of when you all tried to fight Net on that, on the roof of that building. When she gave you all kind of some lessons and training in how to scion combat, where it all seemed very effortless to her, no matter how hard you all like worked at it. And that's a very similar vibe to what you're getting from Sam, or I'm sorry, Coda.
It's alright.
Yep. Yeah, she's doing really good.
Yeah, you just sit right there. We'll make sure nothing bad happens to you. I mean, she's got it handled.
There is a half hiss, half screech from behind you guys.
Oh, shit, what the hell?
I
Clint
think
will look.
that's
Clint looks back. It is once again Brom, who is still half buried under the table. And yeah, at this point, it's no longer smoke coming from his nose. There are little puffs. There are little shocks of fire being released from his mouth.
Clint, can you do that for me, please?
Oh, yeah, come on. You want to come with me? And Clint will just start dragging Oliver along. Come on, give me a hand.
How are you dragging him?
By the foot.
Of course. So just dragging him through the silt sand. I love it.
Yep. Come on, I'm going to need a hand getting your friend out of there. I don't think he's going to take kindly to me.
Okay.
Okay. And then once they're there, Clint will hop down onto his hands and knees and start digging like a dog, trying to push as much sand and debris out of the way for Brom.
I'm going to very slowly roll over to my front and just like very slowly crawl to where the wreckage is and start helping clear it out to unstuck my dragon.
Just be careful. You don't want to put your hand near his face right now. He looks mighty upset.
I can see that. I'll make it up to him with Funyuns. I think those were the ones he likes.
That was Cheetos too.
Right, the Cheetos too.
Oh my goodness, I've been muted. So yeah, you guys drag Oliver over to the table. And the biggest issue for Brom right now is the fact that most of it is the pieces of the table that have kind of collapsed in on him and made it hard for him to crawl out. As you recall, he had kind of started to dig out his own little like hidey hole or cave under the table in the sand. And you imagine that he was nestled in there and probably feeling pretty snug and comfy. And then the table exploded over his head and everything came down on him. And it has made it very hard for him to get out on his own. However, with Clint's epic strength and Oliver's willingness to do the thing that makes him uncomfortable and in pain for his baby dragon, you all are easily able to free him from his little prison.
All right, there you go.
Lay next to him. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
As soon as he is out, he almost darts rapidly up and out of the hole that he had dug for himself. And out of the wreckage of the table. He snaps at Clint's ankle as he goes.
Watch it, little guy.
And as if in response to the watch it, he lets out another little huff of fire at you.
I'm sorry, I was trying to protect your dad. Clint will kind of dance, trying to get out of the way of the smoke and the biting.
But he'll kind of look back over at Oliver when you mentioned that you were trying to help him, and then make his way over and kind of nuzzle his little scaled head up underneath of Oliver's chin.
Okay. I'm okay. I just need a little break, and it'll be fine. I'm sorry about what happened. I'll make it up.
Yeah, just be a good little pillow, buddy.
Coda?
Over here.
Yes.
After a few minutes, you find yourself standing in what's left of a bunch of half-decayed bodies that are no longer moving. It doesn't smell great.
Yeah. I think for a moment she's standing there and is just like breathing and is like, and then will then like kind of finally settle and then go, God, this shit stinks. And then we'll go like look back to the group and kind of be like, I'm hungry. Is there still any food left? Oh, Mr. B, you're up.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, there's some food, but it's mostly covered in sand over there.
How much longer do we have to defend this place? And
Say a
she'll...
couple minutes at least.
You guys were tasked with defending it for 12 hours, basically from sundown to sunup. It has been probably close to 8 by now.
Okay, cool. Huh. Well, I guess we chill until, or not chill, we're still working it. But anybody else feel like exhausted? It's just like,
I need at least 14 Tylenols.
I could use a drink and a bite to eat, but I'm ready to keep going. I'm doing fine.
I saw you go down.
I
Like
mean,
down.
yeah, for a second. Then Mr. B here gave me some magic juice and I was right back up, no problem.
Just gonna raise an eyebrow looking at the two of them. And then looking at herself, because she's definitely been all chewed up. And she'll go, some magic, very special, limited apple juice. And Mr. B looks like, well, yeah, well, Mr. B looks like he could use a nap for sure.
Yeah, we'll prop
I'm
him up
okay.
in the...
I just need like 30 ice packs. I'll be good.
That's
We'll
a
get
good
you propped
idea. Let's just prop him up and give him like what's those things that people yell into at like stupid football games?
Yeah, megaphone?
Yeah, a megaphone, and then all the words that you say to us, that usually makes me feel really great. So you can keep like yelling stuff at us, and we just have to make sure not to get hit, right? And she'll look to Clint.
Yeah, easy enough. I mean, with most of the bad folks already gone, should be easier, right?
And with the Kraken, at least I think that was the huge ass calamari in the ocean, the undersea out there, with that kind of busy destroying ships off in the distance, I think we're good for now.
Oh, all right. Well, hell, let's all take a break then. Maybe we could use that. Not a long one, mind you, just maybe 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, but I'll keep an ear and an eye and a nose out.
Please, yeah, just stay on alert. Maybe have Ian keep flying around.
Oh, yeah. Ian, you can go back to just being yourself again and just keep an eye out for us.
There is a cacophonous cawing from the nearby trees, and you guys look up, and there are probably close to 100 crows perched among all of these palm trees nearby. They almost sound annoyed, and then when Clint says that he can go back to himself and go back to his making the rounds, there's a shift of wings and this loud kind of mad fluttering noise before almost all of these crows seem to like dart into one central space, like they're gonna collide with each other head on, and there's like this burst of feathers and things, and then after the feathers all kind of drift away, there is one lone crow there.
There you go. Does that feel weird to do?
No.
All right. I mean, just make sure you eat like this. I don't think we have enough seed for all of you.
He sort of snaps his beak at you and tilts his head. Kind of swoops down to what's left of the table, picks through it with his beak for a moment until he finds something that looks good to him, and then Clint, can you make me a charisma and animal ken roll, please?
Absolutely.
I want to see how annoyed he is.
That is 7 successes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. He looks vaguely annoyed with you, but you're unsure if he has simply decided that it is best not to argue, or if he's just kind of too terrified of your mom to not take the order. Snaps up what looks like another like oyster cracker and then takes off.
Thank you, little guy. I promise I'll make sure you get better stuff after this.
You owe me.
I do. Trying isn't nuts. We gotta find some quarters and stuff.
All right. I got something in my pocket.
No, not yet. He's gonna be greedy if he sees it now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, let him finish his rounds, and then as he's done, it'll be a reward.
Huh. So when you went down, did you feel yourself like drift or some shit? Or were you just like, cause Teddy, I don't remember if you've met Teddy, but Teddy just kind of like turned into a ghost. So like, did you feel like a light calling towards you, or were you just,
I mean,
you know?
it all happened so fast. All I saw for a second was Gwen's face, and then it went dark. And then I was feeling like I was drowning. And then I woke up because I felt like I was going to drown in some juice. The in-between is fuzzy and, well, no, I'd have to think on it for a little bit.
Well, I'm glad you're not dead.
Yeah, I mean, me
Obviously.
too.
Me three. Also, what did it taste like?
Oh, it was good. You ever had like a good apple cider? Like not a spiced one, but just like where the apple really, really shines.
Ugh.
It's not too sweet.
Sure.
No.
Clint, it tasted like apple, but it tasted like more than that. It tasted like imagine the most perfect apple you've like ever even heard of, at the like that perfect moment of ripeness that's just been plucked off the tree on like a perfect summer's day.
Yeah, it was not just like an apple, it was the apple. You know what I'm saying?
No.
No.
Oh, man. So,
But I hope I don't ever have to.
maybe we should give it a sip. We don't have to drink a whole one of them, but it was really good.
No, I think we should save every drop. Who knows how much of it we'll need.
Okay.
I mean, did some drip in your shirt or something? I'm kidding. That'd be weird.
Probably a little bit here.
No, I was literally, I'm not sucking your fucking shirt. I was kidding.
I was just going to squeeze it into a cup, but I mean,
No, it's
yeah.
good.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be like 60% sweat.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Too. I don't think it'd be that good. You might get a hint of apple.
I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're alive.
Sounded like Coda regrets opening her mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. She'll start cleaning off her sword. That thing.
Well,
Her Kopesh.
Yeah, I just don't know what form she has it in right now, but it would probably be best to clean it while it's a Kopesh.
he'll tuck his toothpick into his mouth and just nod.
And, Unfortunately, though, does anyone have any Advil?
Oh, wait, hold on. She'll look around in her backpack. Hold on, I think I got some good stuff.
Roll me a d10.
D10. I was just gonna give him weed. Let's see. Roll a D10.
It's the Advil you can inhale.
It's that body high.
Oh,
You do, in fact, have both some of Damon's weed, so the good stuff, and a bottle of Advil.
The toughest decision in this game ever. So, Mr. B, I think I have something that can help you.
okay.
So, you've smoked before, right?
Yes.
What's your opinion on smoking right now?
Right
I mean, because you
now.
can't move anyways, right? So,
I'd rather not.
all right. Here,
But
I
at the
got
same
Advil.
time,
What?
Wait, you said you have Advil?
No, what were you saying? What were you?
No. I
the
definitely heard
same
you say you had
time-
Advil.
At the same time.
Just give me the Advil, please.
I mean, that's gonna take at least an hour or so to kick in, ain't it?
Exactly. Maybe even 30 minutes because we're Scion. That's so long. Think of the high. Body high, no pain. Immediate. And Damon's good stuff.
I need to be able to think if we get attacked again.
How likely is it we're gonna get attacked again? Surely we'll be nice and
I'm grabbing the
alone for the-
Tylenol.
okay.
She'll grab whatever and toss the bottle over to him, but then feel bad that she tossed it because she's like, right, you're in pain.
It's like just barely out of reach. I'm reaching for it.
Make me a. Let's go with a Dex and awareness roll. And because you're, but also remember that you're really banged up, so you're at like a -4.
Oh, wait, yeah, so am I.
I'm doing fine.
Upon getting the bottle, I will open it and just pour out like.
What? You have to roll me. I want Dex
sorry.
and awareness with your -4.
My bad. I did not hear that. Dex and awareness with -4. Fun. Where's awareness? Where does that exist? There it is. Oh, okay. That's gonna make my pool 0. But I have epics.
Oh, really? Well, roll. Well, you have epics, right? How many epics do you have?
2. If it's Dex, yeah, 2.
Okay. I forgot that you had 2 epics in Dex. You do in fact manage to catch the bottle, but it's one of those things where like your fingers are almost numb as you go to try and catch it, so you fumble it a little bit. And it sort of like bumbles from one hand to the next and then falls into the sand right beside you, but at least it's close and easy to grab.
Yeah, I'll take it and then just pop it open. Probably pour out like 7 of them and just immediately down the gullet.
I mean, it doesn't do anything for you right now, but
Oh yeah.
Clint stares and waits. Let us know when it works.
I'll let you know if it does.
You know, if the other stuff, you'd have known right away.
Yeah, I think that's part of the bad downside because, like I said, I need to be able to think.
All right.
Once we're done, ask me again.
Okay. I'll hold you to it.
Goodness. So Gwen's like, I know this is gonna fucking sound stupid, but like Gwen's like a serious problem. Yeah?
I mean, she's not that bad. She kind of hurts, but
Right.
people hurt people. So maybe if we just make her feel better about herself and her life and
Nope.
help. Oh,
Nope, that's not gonna work.
okay.
I don't know, because we gave Stefan the opportunity to want to change, yeah? And he took it, yeah?
We gave her the same opportunity and she did the exact opposite.
Y'all did?
Yes.
And you keep doing it, which, you know, I
It's probably
applaud
to make
you.
me more angry.
I mean, surely everyone deserves a 50-second chance.
That's true. Everyone does deserve a second chance.
He said 50-second chance.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about that, because that's like nuts, right? A 50-second chance.
Yeah. I don't know. I
Because the
think,
53rd third chance could be you dying, right?
I mean, that could happen on the third one or even on something completely unrelated.
I don't know how you find it in you, Clint.
I don't know. I just think folks can change if you give them a chance to.
And if they don't take the chance,
You know, there's going to be more down the road unless they die. And hell,
Or
even
you
after they die. I mean, if I die too, sure, but they're still living. They can make more choices in life.
And if those choices are bad ones.
Well, that's a shame because they wasted their opportunities.
I think people can redeem themselves, but I think they have to be able to take the step forward to do it.
May have to
Oh,
warn
you never pushed them? You never had to push them?
No, you offer it, and I guess pushing is a part of it too. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
My grandma always said you can, what is it? You can't force a horse to drink out of a water or something like that. I don't remember how it goes.
yeah. You can't force a horse to drink out of water, but you can guide a horse to the water.
And now what if the horse bites off your whole hand?
Well, shit, I got 2 of them.
Clint. I adore you so much. But what do you do if we didn't have that juice?
I mean, if we didn't have that juice, I'd be laying out on the floor right now.
And
We'd all
then
probably be laying on the floor right now.
Yeah, that's true.
and then think of all the people that would have gotten hurt if Gwen made her way with her dogs up to that party.
Oh, yeah, you're not wrong there. I've learned that with Gwen, it's going to have to take a big push. Maybe a real serious, hardcore, knocked upside the head kind of push to kind of shake her awake. But
Yeah,
we'll
like
get
a
her
push
there.
into the underworld.
I mean, hopefully it don't take that long.
Like a permanent push into the underworld.
Nah, I'd rather not go that far.
I don't know. I think if we encounter her again, it's either
It's her or us. And personally, I'm choosing us.
I mean, I'm going to choose us too, but I'm going to still give her the opportunity to make a choice too.
okay. Well, I'm happy there's at least someone on our group that will, as long as it doesn't end up getting us killed or yourself.
Oh, yeah, because if I get killed and y'all are left alone without someone to protect you, I get real worried.
Worried.
Big glug. I really don't know how you ended up being the way you are.
I mean, I've seen a lot of dead folks.
What?
Well, when you deal with a lot of ghosts and you talk to them and you learn that, life don't stop after death, well, then you kind of realize that things are different than you might expect. And you got to change your choices to match. Or else you're just being stupid, right?
Wait, you can see ghosts?
I mean, yeah, y'all can.
No.
Only
but
when we're like down here, but like in general, no.
Oh, how did y'all talk with your friend?
he sort of chose to appear to us. It was this.
You were
special
given a
circumstance.
temporary blessing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It was a special
okay.
circumstance.
I mean, that. Okay, I thought. I guess that makes sense. For a while there, I thought that was just a thing that happened. Like, you get waking up one day, you realize kind of the powers that you're given, you talk to your parent, and then suddenly, bam, there's a whole nother world happening right in front of you.
Wait. So, Clint, were you going on the basis that all Scions could see ghosts?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I can not fall easily and shine lights from my eyes. I mean, I could do a
Otherwise-
lot of great things. I'm just saying I can't see ghosts.
Oliver,
Yes.
roll me wits and is insight a thing in this system? I'm spacing. I'm sorry.
There's empathy.
Empathy. That's what I was looking for.
All right, I'm good at that. 6 successes.
That's with your -4. Damn.
Oh yeah, so no, I forgot to include the -4. That's my bad. In that case, you can ignore the
The last 4 dice.
the last
so
4 dice.
That's 4 successes.
Yes.
Okay. It occurs to you as you were sitting there, you've kind of always known that Clint isn't exactly the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. But it occurs to you as you are sitting there having this discussion with him that he might be way dumber than you ever gave him credit for.
Oh no.
And suddenly you find yourself maybe questioning some of the decisions that you've made to allow Clint to make his own calls.
Clint, just quick,
Yeah.
random question, nothing to it. Did you graduate high school?
Not really, no.
But you got a GED later on, though, right?
Oh yeah, I had to take a test, and that way they would let me, on the back of the garbage truck, and I sling the trash bags in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, government jobs, as far as I know, you got to have at least a little something, and that one had the least requirements.
Oh, well, school sucks anyway. Well, wait, don't hold me to that. School doesn't entirely measure all of your intelligence.
Agreed.
And it's based upon a certain group of people that can succeed, and maybe doesn't account for the learning styles for multiple other people. And let's
Also
just say,
agreed.
yeah, so
I'm
Yeah.
never had a problem with it. I try to be real upfront with folks about, I'm not the brightest crayon in the knife drawer sometimes, but that's why I have no problem following y'all's direction. Y'all know what the hell y'all are doing too.
crayon in the knife drawer?
Well, yeah, you don't want
I
to be
was just gonna.
yeah. It's kind
Clint,
of a
you
joke.
are excellent and genius in your own very, very unique, special way.
At that, Clint squints. I don't know. That felt a little wrong there, Mr. B. Is that?
Coda's
Mhm.
laughing at the crayon in the knife drawer in the background.
Think of it this way. You know how when you throw your toothpick when it's large and
Yeah.
you're aiming to hit something? Well, when you're doing that, you have to account for a lot of different factors, and that's math you're doing in your head in a split second, and you're very accurate with that. And that's a sign of intelligence.
So whenever I got the toothpick and learned that it could do things like that, I did. So I do have the GED, and then I went to the library a couple times and learned about parabolic physics, the ballistics.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Like I said, everyone in their own unique ways is very smart, and that's just one way for you.
Yeah, I got no problem with that. There are folks that are way smarter than me that are doing things way different, and I realize that my intelligence is more of a physical kind.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But just as a little note, just to hang in the air, from now on, if we ever run into anything like ancient text on a wall or some sort of tomb or a really big chair, for instance, how about you tell us what you're thinking before you do it, just in case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
To be
okay,
fair,
yeah.
though, also my fault with the whole chair thing. I was literally looking at it and it was glowing with evil magic, and I told you it was fine to try and destroy it, so also my fault on that one, but it's just a general baseline.
I mean, I ain't gonna blame you. Yeah, I stated my opinion. You gave me the go-ahead, or my intention. You gave me the go-ahead, and I did it, and bad things happen. We all make mistakes. No, you're the brightest person I know, and you still make a mistake here and there. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. About the mistakes part.
Yeah. No, you're pretty smart, too.
Well, yeah, but I'm not the brightest person in the world.
No, not the in the world, just the one that I know and deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like everybody to roll me perception awareness, please.
Perception.
Don't worry about it, Oliver.
I'm just
Don't
not
worry
gonna
about
roll.
it, Oliver.
It would be a negative one.
You have enough negatives that you wouldn't have dice anyway.
5, 6,
I would
7.
owe you dice.
3, so I gotta roll
Ooh.
3 dice.
Goodness, Clint.
On a pool of 5 dice, I got 6 successes.
Oh.
Come on,
That's-
Coda, make him look like a fool. Let's do it.
I'm only rolling 3 because I get -4 dices.
Oh, well,
Four
that's
dice.
not bad.
fine.
Oh, yeah, there we go, 2.
So, Coda, what you notice, what occurs to you is that as this conversation has been going on, even though it's been nighttime this whole time that you've been here, there is, it is darker now. Rather suddenly, like this was not a subtle shift. It took a couple of minutes, but it went from dark but still relatively easy to see to you guys are kind of having to, like, you're pretty sure normal people would have to squint to be able to like make out like outlines of each other if they weren't really, really close, the way that the three of you are. Clint, what you realize standing there is that not only is it suddenly way darker than it was, but you're pretty sure that you hear thunder coming from like way up. You're like it's kind of muffled and a little wishy-washy, like because you're underwater. But you can absolutely hear thunder.
Clint looks around and furrows his brows. Y'all hear that too? There's a storm somewhere, like real far off, maybe up above us.
Now
Hey,
that you point it out, I guess.
Coda, can you use your eye flashlights and help us out here?
Yeah, I can use my eye flashlight.
Thank you. Kind of hard to say.
Hold on. As I reach into my satchel and hand Clint a single glow stick.
Ooh. Clint will pop it and shake it.
I love that those are still happening. Y'all went shopping for that stuff back in season 1.
Yeah.
Every so often Oliver pulls out another random thing that y'all bought at the store.
I write down what's in that satchel, and I'm going to use the stuff in that satchel.
Is it enough light that I don't need to do my eyeballs thing, or should
as long as you guys stay really close, you can see each other, or at least you can see them. But you suspect it's probably getting harder for them to see each other because they don't have the same purview as you do.
Right.
I'll have my own glow stick as well and crack it, and then pull out a third one and hand it to Coda, just so we can keep track of each other. We can't see like you can, so for you having one will help us.
You all can see each other. If you get far enough away, though, it's going to be hard, and you guys are limited to a very small space because of the. They're glow sticks. They don't exactly give you a ton of ambient light.
She's gonna sigh and then just go, all right, hold on. And just do the divine radiance. I just spend one more legend on her Kopesh. And just will kind of like run her hand over it, and it'll just be like a high-powered flashlight. And she'll just kind of like hold it up, like on like how she usually holds her bat, like over her shoulder, and then just kind of go, it is kind of dark out here. There's probably just a storm happening up above.
Clint looks over to see the glowing weapon and tries to hide the fact that he's been tying the glow stick to the end of his extended toothpick.
I love that so much.
That looks, that makes sense. There's a storm up above. I heard the thunder, but do you think it'll cause anything to happen down here?
I don't know.
We should check.
It seems relevant somehow, like it might be related. At least that's how it tends to go with our luck.
Yeah, and I can't look above anymore because of that person that, shattered my vision for up there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, does it sound like the thunder is coming from a specific area, or does it just sounds like thunder is all around us?
It sounds almost like it's directly over where you are.
Directly over us. Okay.
But it sounds like it's directly over you because, which kind of makes it sound like it's coming from all over, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When a storm cloud kind of parks itself over your house, yes, you can tell it's directly over top of you, but also kind of sounds like it's coming from everywhere around you.
Yeah, because it reverberates. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I guess she'll perception awareness. Is that a thing I could do? Or not perception awareness. What's awareness? Is that what
you already did? Perception awareness. What are you trying to do?
Oh, I see. Like to look around us to see if there's anything has made its way here.
Would you like to maybe take a walk around the island and see if you run into anything?
I was about to say, we should probably get back to our patrol.
Yeah, that's what she'd like to do.
Able to stand up the whole time?
Carry him.
I'll manage. No, don't carry me.
Oh, I can carry you. It's not
I just slowly stand up. It's fine. I'm just really sore.
Well, if you slow us down too much, I'll carry you, okay?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All right. Are you all walking together or are you splitting up?
Hanging out together.
Yeah, I think with me and Clint not being able to see too well in the dark, we ought to stay with Coda.
Okay. Well then, I will allow one of you to make perception and Let's go for perception and awareness, and I will allow a plus, and I will allow a +1 for the two people helping you. A +1 for each of the two people helping. So who's going to make the roll?
I mean, I'm not affected by the damage penalty if y'all are.
Yeah, I'd say you go for it. You have the most or the largest pool right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that's 2 additional on top of it.
Yep.
There we go. That is 3 successes.
Okay. You guys don't really see much that is of overly active concern to you. What you do notice is that while the liquid that kind of makes up the quote unquote, like beach water for where you are, that kind of like eerie, calm black water or liquid, it's still not moving in and of itself, but occasionally, as you guys are walking by, you kind of cast your gaze out in that direction just to make sure that there's nothing in the horizon that you need to be worried about. And you will see every so often what looks like in like these as lightning flashes overhead, you see what looks like the outline of maybe like hands reaching up out of the water, and then they disappear, but they're gone by the time the lightning comes back again.
Don't like that. Don't like that. There are hands in the water. Don't like that.
Oh, wait. Isn't... Wait, he said he's justice and drums and... Doesn't Shango do storms too? Or is that...
I believe he does.
Anybody who would like to can make an intelligence and either academics or occult roll.
Yikes.
Ooh, okay.
Don't forget your negatives.
Yeah. Intelligence and academics or
occult.
Occult. Yeah. This is funny.
Hey, got 1
4
success.
successes.
Much better than me.
Most of it comes from epics.
I can roll 1 dice. Doesn't hurt.
Hey.
All right.
All right. So you each got 1. Or no, wait. Oliver has 4 because he has epics. You guys are pretty sure that he said something. I mean, he's got of a few things. It's hard, like, I don't know. Maybe he's got of like big dad energy. It's hard to tell. However, Oliver, you remember not only talking to him about this, but like also at times like reading about, especially when you were teaching like American literature, reading about stories that were written in the Deep South and around New Orleans and whatever. And you are pretty sure that you remember reading that Shango is not only the Loa Lord of Thunder, but he's like their priest king. He is a god of initiation and justice and royalty.
Right. Yeah, I'm almost certain this has something to do with Shango.
Is it something to do with the party too? You think it's like just part of it?
He's in attendance, so I imagine so. He's sort of like
Going on.
King within the Loa. I don't think that means he's in charge per se, but he is regarded as a royal figure. It's part of who he is as a god. So this could be some sort of show of authority, or it could just be a light show.
Ooh.
Who knows?
Can we take a peek?
I don't think we're supposed to.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of cool. He's like going off up there. Or down. He's going off.
I think it's
There's
both
a chance he
places
might
down here,
even-
up there.
there's a chance he might have even left the party to handle some of our not so friendly friends up on the surface or outside of the confines of this island.
Clint pulls out his phone and sends a text to Shango.
What would you like the text to say?
He's just asking, was that you?
You don't get an answer back.
Of course. And then he'll clarify, the storm, was the storm you?
You do get an answer back to that, and the answer is nope.
Oh shit, that wasn't Shango.
Sometimes storms just happen.
He says sometimes storms just happen.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully that's the case here.
Well, at least he knows what we're talking about.
As you all are talking, and I assume still walking along the beaches,
Yes.
You all don't notice anything out of place at first. But after a while, and it's specifically Clint that notices, or that realizes what's happening literally as it's happening. Clint kept glancing out at the water because the sight of the hands reaching up out of the water made him nervous. And at some point, while you guys are focused on things and Clint is texting on his phone, it's as Clint turns off the screen of his phone and goes to stick it back in his pocket, that a wet hand grips his ankle.
Nope. Don't like this. Help. Clint starts kicking his foot.
Clint, make me a let's go Dex and Fortitude roll, please.
You got it. That is 6 successes. You might be muted again because we cannot hear you.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
All good.
You look down as you manage to rip your foot away from this thing, and you realize that it was trying to pull you towards the water. And it's mostly your ability to stay on your feet, that strength of yours. You were able to kind of plant yourself pretty firmly with one foot while kicking away with the other. And you look down and you realize in the light cast by Coda's Kopesh that there is a kind of waterlogged, bloated, but still very obviously in a state of decay corpse, kind of half formed and crawling up out of the water like it is trying to claw for you.
Come on, get back in there. You don't belong up here.
And as you are having that moment, Coda kind of instinctively lifts her Kopesh a little bit higher so that she can get a better look around, and you realize that there are a number of bodies that look very much like that, kind of crawling up out of the water towards the beach.
Oh, hell.
Some are missing limbs, some are mostly whole, but obviously kind of, rotting and waterlogged. Some are in clothes from different eras. It's hard to tell. But there's a lot of them.
Y'all can see these two, right?
Yeah.
All right, they're not ghosts then. Okay, we need to get these things out of here.
Agreed.
Oh.
All right. We are going to treat this as another skill challenge.
Hey.
There are a number of these things. It's hard to tell exactly how many. You guys can see at least 10 just in the area where you are, but looking up and down the beach, you can tell that there's probably more that are crawling up out of the water, and the ones that are not near you look like they are crawling towards the center of the island. Like they've angled themselves towards that large house that you saw in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're party crashers.
So it is going to take a total of or a minimum of 15 successes on extended rolls in order to, at the very least, make sure that you head off the worst of any disruptions. But if you want to completely head it off and not have them get there at all, it'll take 20.
Mm-hmm.
Each of you is able to contribute. You can contribute to help each other. You can act on your own. It is up to you.
Okay. Coda will look to the group, especially to Clint, with kind of like a mischievous glint in her eyes, and go, "How big can you make that thing? We can make some shish kebabs."
Ooh. I ain't never tried to make it that big, but I think we can get a few of them on there.
And then she'll look to Mr. B and go, "You got any advice you can give us on that?"
I can direct you and provide optimal angles to shish kebab them. See if I have any other tricks.
Figure once we get them all on the stick, I can just fling them back out there, yeah?
Yeah, and then, wait, when it comes back to you, does it come back with what's attached on it? Because what if you fling it out and then you... Let's just give it a try.
Yeah, I mean, it had some ink and stuff guts on there last time, but it was okay.
Okay. Yeah, so shish kebab, y'all?
Shish kebab.
Okay, so Clint is going to attempt to shish kebab things with his spear. What are Oliver and Coda doing?
I'm giving command rolls to help them do that better.
Okay.
Or at least
Coda?
She is going to try and quickly and carefully kind of guide the... What are they called? The critters to get... shanked, essentially. Not shanked, to get shushed. To go into the sphere. So she's gonna...
You're gonna try to sheepdog them. You're trying to sheepdog them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shish them real good.
How do you propose doing that?
So, yeah, like what Oliver said, I am going to try to sheepdog them. So I'm going to she'll just kind of be like, oh, get attention, but then try to with Cat's Grace / untouchable opponent, she's going to keep trying to weave and dodge and kind of get them to follow her. But then when they go for a lunge, she'll duck out the way and have and let Clint
Okay. Hang on. This is a skill challenge. So you get to pick one. You don't get to throw all of the things at me.
Oh, that's just my plan.
So if your plan is to sheepdog things, I'm gonna say that is a wits and presence roll. Remember, you do have your negative.
Wits and presence.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like herding cattle. It's pretty easy.
On the bright side, you do have 2 epics, so
yes.
I think you're mostly just going to be rolling 1 die and then adding your 2 epics to whatever you get.
Yeah, and I believe with appearance epic, I can re-roll a presence dice if...
It is wits and presence, not appearance.
Oh, I see what you mean. Never mind. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. So should I roll now, or should we
use wits instead of appearance, because you are thinking on your feet, and you made it very clear that you want to be able to like dodge and not get grabbed. So you have to be able to think quickly.
Yeah, no, I fully follow that.
Go ahead and make your roll so that I can see. Are you trying to add to Clint's thing, or are you doing your own roll that you want your own successes to stand alone?
I would say I'm trying to add to Clint. Yeah. So I would say I'm trying to add to Clint.
Okay.
And I would like to say, can I add my harmony virtue? Because I'm trying to work in tandem to get something done.
No, that's clever, but no, that's not something that harmony does.
Duty, then.
No.
I would allow for duty because you're trying to fulfill your labor.
All right, there we go. Okay, so duty, I've used it twice.
While she is making that roll, Oliver, I know you're using command rolls, but what are your commands? What are you doing exactly?
I'm more or less directing Clint on like the most optimal way for him to skewer these undead, like where they would be the squishiest and most easily impaled, what angle he should come in at, and like which ones he should select strategically so it makes it easier for us.
All right, give me intelligence and command, please.
Before that, I would like to spend a legend point to do Bona Fortuna on myself to hopefully help counteract some of my negatives here.
Sure.
All right. So first, I'll make a roll there to see if I get any extra dice, which will also give me negatives. Okay, I'll get 2 extra dice. Helps a little bit. And you said command plus what?
Intelligence.
Okay, cool. So, same thing.
Coda, you gonna roll?
Yeah, I'm counting how many dice I need to use. I'm trying to remember how I set up my virtues, but I think I
5 successes.
used it 2 times. So I have 5
Okay.
dice. I think.
Now, do I have to give those to Clint, or could I count them as my own successes as well?
You already said you were giving them to Clint as a command roll. However, because you rolled 5, that means Clint gets 3 extra dice.
Okay. Ooh, all right.
And Coda will add 1 extra die to Clint's die pool for a total of +4.
Awesome. Taking advantage of tactics given by a leader, Clint would like to utilize piety to add to whatever roll would get these things up onto his stick and then back out into the ocean.
Huh. Let me look at something. That's an interesting interpretation of piety.
Solving a problem with tactics. I don't know if they're well worn enough, but hopefully. Does Oliver count as an ancient that I am pulling wisdom from?
No. I highly doubt it.
Oh, I didn't add my modifier, so that's 3 successes.
I'll allow it. Employ well-worn ideas or tactics to solve a problem and act in accordance with the wishes of one's god or family. Yeah, no, that fits.
I will use it then.
All right.
That is 6 extra. And you said you got additional from your modifier there, Coda?
Yeah, I have 2 epic wits, so I forgot to add that. So it's 3 successes.
Then you get 2 dice from Coda instead of 1.
That's a total 5 from the 2 of us to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then 2 from piety, because that's what I'm spending.
Is there anything in particular fancy that you were trying to do Or are you just like, acted like the dude in the old movies who's like out picking up litter with just like the pointy stick?
Yeah, it's a little bit of that, but instead of it ending with like just shimmying them off into the ocean, he would like to kind of whip it back sideways like a baseball bat and kind of take a good swing just to see how far out into the ocean he can get them to launch off the end of his spear.
Okay. I will allow. I'll say that's a.
Could we say that this is a stunt?
That's what I'm trying to figure out is how many dice you're gonna get for this. I'll say this is like a 1 die stunt. It's not huge. It's not hugely over the top, but it is a stunt.
Okay.
Don't forget, you get legend back for stunts.
Ooh, awesome. I'll take that back. Cool. Okay. So with that, I've got 7 extra dice.
Oliver and Coda also get legend back. This is a group effort, so everybody gets legend for this.
Yippee!
And what would be the base die pool I'm using?
Oh, let's go strength and athletics.
Awesome. So that's 6 base dice plus the 7 extra. That's 13 dice.
Uh-huh.
I have a 2 epic strength, so that's 2 modified.
Do you or do you not have like hurl to the horizon and stuff?
I have hurl to the horizon. I also have mighty heave. So if it's anything heavy enough, it counts as 6 times as far instead of just 3 times.
Excellent. Okay, let's do it.
All right. That's only 10 successes.
Only 10 successes.
Only 10.
Goodness. All right. Describe what this looks like. It's gonna work. You're gonna get a good number of bodies onto your spear and start hurling. So describe what this looks like.
Yeah. So Clint at first is like he's watching Oliver and listening and nodding along and kind of watches for a second longer, stabs the stick through one of the corpses, and then moves on to the next. And he's keeping the pattern going of, okay, it has to go here. Perfect. All right, perfect. Until he's got a stack on a 6-foot spear that is just compressed zombies in as much space as he could on the stick. And he kind of trudges over to the edge of the sand. Okay. And stretches out one way, reels back like he's about to swing the biggest Granville slugger he's ever swung, and just swings and lets loose at the very end to see how far his spear and these mini zombies can go. And as soon as he sees it's at the apex of the kind of the toss, he'll resummon it at that point, hopefully without the bodies attached.
Okay. Just roll me a single D10.
You got it.
Oh,
That is a 9.
Your spear comes back covered in gore, but free of bodies. Most of them, anyway.
Spear in one hand, he raises the other hand up to see as they kind of separate like a smattering of zombies off in the distance.
Yeah, you guys watch, and you see the moment when the spear gets recalled, because not only does Clint's hand go up as if he is recalling the spear to catch it, but the bodies all seem to kind of break apart and all fly in slightly different directions and at different trajectories because they are different weights and everything. It's a little bit like watching a really gory like firework, but it's made out of bodies instead of pyrotechnics. Where they're all together until that moment where they reach like the apex of their arc, and then they split apart.
It was beautiful.
Shit, that
All right,
actually
let's
worked.
keep it up. Hell yeah.
nicely done.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, unfortunately, you haven't hit the full number to completely keep them away from the house yet.
Oh, shit. All right, we still got to clean up the rest of them. I don't think we can keep up that slow process, though.
No, I have an idea. So what I'm going to try to do is, while watching the zombies kind of move up the beach, kind of get in a line with them and do some like mental calculations with angles to see if I can find an angle in which Clint can throw his spear to make it just like skewer as many of the zombies as possible.
Ooh, I have a boon for this. I've got trick shooter, or a knack.
You're muted,
once
BP.
again, BP.
Trick shooter allows you to aim and double the bonus that you get from your aiming.
Exactly.
The problem is that aiming requires actions.
Fair enough.
The longer you spend aiming, the higher I'm gonna make the DC for the for keeping them away from the house.
All right, we won't wait then.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna see if I can find the angle, do quick maths in my head for Clint to throw his spear and just get as many as possible with like one throw. Okay.
Do you want to add this to Clint's thing, or do you want your successes to just add to the 10 that you have?
In this case, I think I'll just want to add to what we have because
that's fine.
More sense instead of having it and giving it to Clint.
Coda.
And I'll say while they're doing this, I think she's just going to be chopping off any stragglers that are like not in the trajectory that Oliver has come up with for Clint. She'll just go, all right, I'll chop a few over here.
All right. Coda, I need Dex plus melee. Oliver, I need intelligence plus science. And Clint, I'm assuming you are going for spearing more things?
That's right. I'm going to throw this stick at him.
Dex plus thrown, then.
I'm going to do another Bona Fortuna first.
Okay.
Because I need them.
Oh, beans.
Another 2 successes. I'll take it.
I got 4.
Coda got 3.
I got 3. Yeah.
But I did not apply my epics to this, so that goes from 4 to 6.
Coda got 3. Oliver got 2. So that takes you to the 15.
That was just for Bona Fortuna, so I'm still doing mine technically. So here. 6 down to 4. Okay, yeah. 6 successes.
All right. So 6 plus 6 is 12. So that takes you to 22. And Coda got 3, which takes you to 25 even. Which is exactly what you needed to completely clear the island.
Yes.
By the time this is over, I need Oliver to make me a stamina plus fortitude roll.
Okay.
Same with Coda, because you are both pretty fucked up already.
That's going to drop my pool down to 0, but I have 1 epic stamina.
Okay.
Or it's just 3D.
I'm not going to make Clint roll because fucking epic stamina. And the fact that the negatives don't apply to him right now anyway.
I'm doing fine.
That is 1.
Excellent. Okay. By the time this is over, Coda and Oliver, you two are sore and winded and probably more than a little annoyed that Clint is running around like nothing's going on, because he definitely got hit harder and worse than either of you two did. But he doesn't seem bothered. And you two are just struggling to catch your breath.
Yeah. Coda is sitting in the sand and it's just like, okay. Yeah, she probably will try to light a joint while doing all this, but she's just like, if it's not lighting, she's just gonna be like, man, fuck this.
Clint tosses the last leg into the water. Oh, come on, y'all. It wasn't that bad.
Well, we
Coda,
don't-
as you are sitting down and you are struggling with your lighter, which does not seem to want to light, probably because you're underwater.
Yeah.
Technically, a skeletal hand reaches out and taps the end of your joint, and it glows brightly as if it had been lit the whole time.
Hello. She'll like look at the skeletal joint.
You look up and there is a skeletal figure standing beside you in a top hat, leaning on a cane. And even though the face is absolutely a skeleton, you get the sneaking suspicion that it's smiling at you.
Bless you. She'll take a big inhale and then go and like let it out through the side of her mouth and go, wait, sorry. I'm Coda, scion of Bastet. Next to, thank you. Shit.
There is a laugh that comes from this body that doesn't seem to have lungs or vocal cords for that matter. And that hand kind of reaches up to tap the edge of the top hat. Well, thank you, Miss Massaquoi, for keeping an eye on my own. Yeah.
No problem. It was fun.
Yeah, I had a great time. Clint is grinning ear to ear.
Something tells me you have a good time no matter where you go.
Well, I try to, at least.
I'm just like pinching the bridge of my nose.
It was a little bit of a workout, but I mean, hell, it was worth it. We got to see some of the cool things going on, heard some things happening, heard some music even, and the food weren't half bad neither.
Food was so good.
Glad you enjoyed. Sorry to say that Shango cannot make it to send you home, but it's all right. This is always travel has always been my forte, more than his anyway.
I mean, is it time to go already? We were just getting settled in. I thought we still had some time to go.
No, this is we just about finished up. Everybody's heading home now.
Oh. Well,
You've been out here for 12 hours.
Oh,
Sure
we could go
feels
for
like
a few more.
More than that, really.
What, y'all, you think you can handle another 12? Surely we can do more. Y'all can keep partying.
Nah, that's not how the fat kid works.
I'm gonna turn to our new friend here. So how are we getting back?
I will send you home.
also, who are you? No offense.
None take a share. And he lifts off his top hat and bows. I am Behon Samdi.
We met your wife earlier.
Yeah, she told me. She quite a woman, eh? You again get that sneaking suspicion that he has a wicked grin on his face.
Yeah. Coda will bite her
Might
tongue.
even be wiggling his eyebrows, but he doesn't have eyebrows, so
I'll bite
met
my
his
tongue.
wife already?
Yeah, don't you remember the baddie that was the lady that
Oh,
was?
that was her? Holy shit.
Pinching my nose again.
How does that work? I don't, never mind.
We also met your kids too. Some of
You
them,
met-
at least.
you met a few of them, yeah.
They were nice.
He kind of like tilts his head and looks at Clint. How does what work?
I'm not sure I really need to know how it works, but I mean, like a skeleton and a real pretty lady and kids? How does, you know?
Oh, I see. And there's again that kind of disembodied laugh, and he lifts that skeletal hand up towards his face and kind of passes it from like his chest up towards like his top hat. And as he does so, rather than a skeleton, you see the kind of rich, dark brown skin of a honestly genuinely handsome man standing in front of him. Standing in front of you.
Oh, now I get it. You're handsome too. I see. That makes sense.
This isn't my preferred form, but I usually end up the way I most enjoy being when I'm here. I sometimes forget when scions not from my pantheon come here to get a little upset, get a little discomfited.
I mean, y'all are fine. It was a great time. I just didn't. Now I understand how that's. I was just curious.
And he kind of like adjusts this swallowtail coat that he is wearing, which looks like it belongs on an undertaker, and pulls a pair of sunglasses from his pocket and slides them onto his face. Shango out there dealing with the troublemakers, and he kind of points upwards at the sky.
Oh, he is? I asked him and he said no, storms just happen sometimes.
Oh no, he wasn't the one caused the storm. He's out there dealing with the troublemakers who did.
Oh, well, that's not good. Well, I mean, he's got it handled. He's got that, right?
He and his children and some of mine dealing with it, no problem. The party's over anyway.
All right.
At least this party is over. I'm going to an after party once I get you wherever you're going. Where do you want to go?
Well, I mean, if there's an after party, we could do that, right?
No. I need somewhere where I can lay down.
I don't think your friend is ready for my kind of after party.
I'm ready for a hot bath, another joint, and some toaster strudels, not gonna lie.
Fresh toaster strudels?
I'm not doing this with you, Mr. B.
Okay.
Why would you buy more? You've already got a briefcase full of them somewhere, don't you?
No, okay. All right. I just want to
Sounds like a waste of money.
Sleep for like 4 days straight.
So where you going?
Damien?
Yeah, we could go to Damon.
Peace.
I know Damon. You come on.
All right. Coda's gonna look around for Pele. And go, Pele, where are you? We're leaving.
He's probably hanging out with Ian.
I didn't find my dragon as well.
Pele slinks out of the brush. That is a little bit closer to the center of the island. It's up at the top of the beach, and he kind of comes out and makes his way over to you. Brahm has mostly been with you most of the time, I assumed. And Ian kind of swooped down as soon as the Baron showed up, and will perch himself on Clint's shoulder.
You know, Ian, we got to talk. You got to get a little bit better about warning us things is happening.
You told me to fly, and it was dark. What did you expect me to do?
I thought you had better vision than me in the dark.
Not that much better.
Then why the hell did I send you up there?
I don't know. You just told me to go, so I went.
All right. Okay. Well, next time you can tell me that you ain't going to see nothing, and we'll just hang out together. All right, fine.
She'll take out her quarters and hold it out.
He will happily snatch a quarter.
Only 25 cents.
Yeah, I'll hook you up. I'll buy you a couple of Twinkies or something on the way back.
Ugh.
Oh, speaking of, well, Baron, do you have like a phone number I could reach you at?
Oh, good. Great.
There's this long pause, and he kind of looks over his shoulder at you and arches a little brow, shrugs. Sure. And if you hand him your phone, he will enter a number into your phone and hand it back.
Yeah, here you go. And Clint will hand it over, and
he taps away at it for a minute and then hands it back.
all right, I'm gonna send you a text. That way you know it's me, and that way you have it saved. And Clint will send a text of, "Hey, this is Clint."
You don't see him pull out a phone or anything. You assume he has a phone somewhere, and that your text just went to it, but he doesn't seem to have it on him at the moment.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't check my text if the person who sent me a text was right in front of me either. I get it. Yeah.
You all ready to go?
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Yep.
I'm following the Baron.
Excellent. He will lead you all up towards that house. As you get close, you realize that it is big and grand and kind of imposing. But while all of the windows were lit up and this place sounded like it had just a ton of life, given that it's which was weird given that it's in an underworld earlier, by the time you get up there, it's dark. Most of the windows are anyway. There's some of the ones on like the lower level still have some light coming from them, but it's very quiet. There isn't any music anymore, and as you guys walk along, you see some of those ghosts that you saw like headed up to the house are drifting away from it now.
Y'all see those too, right? They're hanging out and going bye-bye.
And we see those ones.
They live here. They're just going home.
Yeah. It's nice to see some that aren't all upset or anything. It's a good change. Look happy.
Yeah, most of the time they just move around. But during the fete, when they eat and everything, they remember who they used to be more.
I mean, it makes sense. Good food, good music. It's hard to forget after that point.
Well, that and their ancestors are remember, or their ancestors, the people who remember them in the world of the living, which return some of their memories.
Wait, so just theoretically here, big word, I know, thank you, Mr. B. If I were to pass away while in service of the gods and making sure things are going right, and folks remember me, is it just like I get to be a ghost as long as folks know I was there? Or?
No, that's not exactly how it works. They ghosts whether they remembered or not. But when people remember them on their holy days, they remember more about themselves.
Okay. So
in between, they tend to become like shades of who they were.
Gotcha. Okay. So, like, is that going to happen to me too, you think?
I don't know how your underworld works, white boy.
Oh, yeah, it is different, I guess. Yeah. All right. I guess I'll ask Mom.
That's probably for the best. Her or Mananan. He might be a better option.
You got his phone number by chance?
Of course I do.
And I don't think he's too happy with us right now.
I mean, probably not, but I mean, I don't have to send it right now.
I think you want that number. You better ask your ma, yeah?
Oh, well, I mean, if I give you $5, you think you could slip me the number?
I think it would be great if we went to Damon's, yeah?
I tell you what. You have a drink with me before you go, I'll give you the number.
You got it. I'll drink with you.
Where do we drink?
Excellent.
Clint? Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that we were told about making deals, but sure. Okay.
But it's a deal I started for a phone number.
You guys walk inside. You see Brigitte is in the... You walk like down this long foyer and into this huge kitchen that looks like at one point it probably took a staff of like 6 to 10 people to run this efficiently, or it would have. But at the moment, it's only Brigitte that's in there. There are like leftovers still around that haven't been cleaned up yet. And before you guys even really get into the room, Brigitte has, you see her pouring what looks like some sort of rich, dark rum into a pair of glasses.
Is that a hint of coconut I smell?
This, got a great many things in it. And she kind of pushes it towards you and the Baron, who picks up his.
Clint will pick up his and extend it in good cheer.
To the dead and the memories of the living.
To the dead and their memories, yes. Clint will give it a hesitant sniff for just a second.
You gotta drink it all.
Hey, yeah, that's fine.
And then the Baron knocks his back without a hesitation.
Oh, okay. Seeing you do it, and Clint will knock his back as well.
Excellent. Clint.
Oh boy.
Yes.
I need you to roll 1 die.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That's a botch. Excellent. So Clint, you open, like, you do that thing where you open the back of your throat and kind of pour the liquid into your mouth, and it passes over your tongue, and it is like this rich I don't really know how to describe it. It is like this rich, full flavored kind of rum. You taste coconut, but you also taste like sea breeze and the way sunlight feels on your skin in like the heat of summer in New Orleans, and the sound of music on a Caribbean on the Caribbean air. Like all of that kind of hits you all at once, but it's weird because it's like having synesthesia, because like this is a drink and you should really only be tasting things, but you're pretty sure that you're tasting the way things sound and the way things feel. And you have this moment where you're sure that you're fine and that was just really yummy. And then you feel yourself falling.
Oh, this is really good.
And your eyes kind of close as you're pretty sure you're about to impact the ground. And when you open them, you are sitting in what looks like a bar. And from the sound of the music coming from outside the doors, this kind of like raucous, jazzy medley, you think you might be in New Orleans? And sitting next to you is that skeletal figure, and he has a thick cigar trapped between his teeth, and across the table from you is a man, and he kind of gets this slow, wide, wicked smile on his face.
Well, this ain't the same place I was before. Oh, hello, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. Nice to meet you at last, Mr. Brazos. Clint.
Yeah.
You are sitting in what seems to be a bar in New Orleans. This bar is somehow both crowded and empty. You kind of, out of the corner of your eye, get the sense that there are people like sitting at the bar itself and not at the table that you're at, and they might be at other tables around you. But anytime you try to like turn your head to look, there's nobody there.
The hell?
The lights are kind of dim and dark. And outside you can hear the sound of like a street party unfolding.
Okay, weird place, but okay. I mean, I like it.
The Baron is beside you and is drinking and smoking from a cigar, and there is a man across from you who is also has a cigar. Although his is not as not quite the same type.
Oh, I mean, do y'all got one for me too? I don't want to be left out here.
You again get that same disembodied, slow, thick as molasses chuckle from the Baron, and he kind of gives a little twist of his fingers, and a cigar forms between them, and he hands it over before the man across from you reaches over and makes a movement like he's flicking a lighter to turn it on for you, but when you look at his hand, you're pretty sure there's no lighter in it, but there is a flame coming up from the tip of his thumb, which he holds to the end of the cigar for you.
Oh, thank you. And Clint will kind of nip off the tip instead of using whatever nearby scissors or any kind of tool, and then start puffing. That was mighty kind of you. Thank you. I mean, you said nice to meet you at last. Who are you, friend?
Oh, you already know. Funny to make jokes like that, Clint.
You don't look like the Morrigan.
I should hope not. But we've only got the one night here. Let's party.
Oh, I mean, I've got friends. Are they going to be okay while we party?
Well, your friends aren't here.
No, but still going to miss them a little bit. All right, let's party. What do we got going on tonight? We got darts. We got, cornhole. What's going on out here?
Oh, you've never had a proper New Orleans party, huh? And the Baron kind of is laughing at that. No, I don't think he has. We show him good time, yeah?
I'm gonna be honest, last time I was in New Orleans for a party, it was, the Mardi Gras festival with lots of beads and folks without shirts, and something tells me it's not the same kind of party, is it?
Well, that's the tourist attraction. We have better parties than that when they're not here.
Oh, good, okay. If we're gonna have a better party than that, I'm real excited then.
Clint?
Yeah?
I need you to make me another single D10 roll.
You got it. That is a fail. Or a 3.
Oh, you rolled in the wrong channel. I was like, where is it? I don't see it.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, that is a fail. You get swept up in the moment. Where you and these two other guys go out on the town and you it's kind of a dizzying blur. Like, you know that you're having a great time. You feel like you're having an awesome time. But things are happening so quickly that you can't really track a lot of it. It's hard to keep up with what's going on. But at the same same time, you're not entirely sure that you need to keep up with what's going on. I mean, you've been out partying before. You don't always need to be aware. Sometimes it's fun to just go out and lose yourself for a while.
Yeah, Clint has the feeling that that's the vibes going on with this kind of party. We've already had the drink and we've been whisked off to a super party. We're just going to vibe and go with it, yeah.
In the middle of all of it, you run into, what was the term that Coda used? The baddie? When she was talking about the Baron's wife?
Yes, that was the term used.
You guys kind of bar hop for a while and eventually end up in a completely different bar than the one that you started in. And she is there, and the man that you and the Baron had been with, he kind of broke off on his own for a while. Just promised that he'd see you soon. But he has a man he has to go talk to about a something special for you.
Oh, okay. I'm excited for that. All right. Yeah. I mean, you take care. If you need anything, just holler.
And he sort of gives you a little half wave and a coy smile and disappears into the crowd. As you arrive in this final, or in this bar where Maman Brigitte seems to be, the Baron kind of claps you on the shoulder. I'll be right back, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. I guess I'll hold the fort down here until you guys get back.
And as he wanders off, Maman Brigitte kind of walks over and hands you another glass.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Is this rum? I don't need to know. And Clint will start sipping at it.
It is, in fact, rum. And she kind of throws an arm around your shoulder. You are an interesting one.
Well, I like to keep from being boring. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate that compliment.
You like partying in New Orleans. It suits you well.
Yeah. I mean, there are the people, the music, the food, the sounds. I mean, the music. I tell you, it's hard to get enough of that jazz.
Tell me, Clint, if you could have anything your heart desired right now, what would it be?
Oh, I mean, right this moment? Well, y'all got ribs?
We can get ribs if that's what you want, but that's a little thing to ask for when a god asks you what you want.
Oh, well,
Don't think about the superficial. What do you want most in life right now?
Kind of want to help my friends.
Your friends are fine, Clint.
No, but I get worried when I'm not with them. But if it was, just me, I suppose, ma'am, I'd take kindly if ma'am, I don't rightly know what I want.
That's not a good place to be. A man who don't know what he wants, his soul is unmoored.
Yeah. I never really feel like I really need much myself. I'm always trying to make sure other folks get what they need. Is there something?
You should think more about what you want from life, Clint. Or you're going to spend all your time giving and giving and giving and getting nothing back until there's nothing left at you.
Is that a bad thing?
You want to help your friends, yeah?
Well, yes, ma'am, I do.
You keep pouring yourself out like there's no bottom to who you are and what you can give, eventually you're not going to have anything left to help them with.
But that means I've done everything I can to help them, don't it?
Not necessarily.
Hmm.
They tell you when you're on a plane, you put on your mask before you put on everybody else's for a reason. You got to take care of you before you can take care of everybody else.
But if I take care of me, ain't that like being selfish and not?
No, if you only take care of you, that's selfish. And being selfish isn't always a bad thing, you know. But you take care of you enough to get what you need. It lets you be better at helping other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't fight the wars that your friends need you to fight if you're starving.
It's true. I mean, if I could, I'd just... Well, if I said I want more friends, that'd just mean more people that I'm trying to look out for and care for. If I said
But also more people that would look out for you.
That's true. Is it possible to get more friends? Is that a deal on the table?
She kind of smiles. I take you the type who's gonna make friends wherever he goes regardless.
Yeah, but I mean folks that can help me help others make a difference and maybe help me sometimes when I need it. I've got Mr. B, I've got, Coda, and they're great folks. And sometimes I put myself on the line to make sure they get what they need, and I've been saved by them at least once now. I don't really have a lot of folks that I, just talk to.
I think I can help you. I think I could help you with that. Help you find people who can help you help others.
Yeah. I mean, if I could tell at a glance who's better to make friends with, that'd be best, right? If I could judge someone at a glance and be like, that person's a good person. I want to be best friends with them because they're going to help me and help others.
Oh, that's a little harder to do. But
Okay,
I can help you with what you asked for the first time.
Yeah, I'll take friends.
Only so many wishes I can grant. You take another drink,
shit.
and she refills your drink for you.
At the mention of them being wishes, Clint's eyes widen as he realizes he's been misinterpreting the whole thing.
Take another drink.
Yeah, yes, ma'am, yes. And I'll take a drink.
You down this drink. She does
Absolutely.
that thing where you go to take a swallow, and she puts her finger on the bottom of the glass and pushes it upward so that you have to keep drinking. And as you empty the glass and finally lower it from your lips, she leans in and kisses you, and everything goes black.
Well, hell. And
that's about the only thing you have the time to think. And I'm gonna contact your fellow players and tell them that they can rejoin us.
Yep, Clint's just going to be blushing no matter what happens next.
Whoa.
The two of you watch Clint down this drink, and his face goes a little blank. He looks a little slack-jawed for a moment. And it's a long, good 30 seconds to a minute. And when you start to look a little concerned, Maman Brigitte kind of holds up a hand. You give him a minute. Sometimes the shock takes a minute to wear off.
Is he okay?
He fine. Fine, nectar to gods and all.
I see.
Okay.
He's just learning some valuable lessons right now.
Oh. Like taking shots of gods?
That would be the first of them, yes. And she kind of chuckles a little bit. Clint, you come to, and as you watch Clint come to, his face goes from kind of slack-jawed and his skin tone is very even, to he is suddenly blushing up bright red.
Oh shit. How the fuck? Hello again. I didn't do anything embarrassing, did I?
No, you just sort of
Well-
stood there for a while.
Yeah, what he said.
Oh, that's not so bad. Okay.
Are you
Did you
okay?
do? Are you
Uh,
okay?
Yeah, I feel fantastic. Sorry, it was the end there kind of got to me. It was so. I mean, it was. He'll turn to look. Is the Baron still there?
The Baron is still there. Looks nonplussed.
What the hell was in that drink? Was all that?
Everything you needed.
Is it that happened, right? I'm not imagining any of that. That was real.
What is real and what is not? He sort of shrugs a little bit and, come on, I gotta get you to Damon's house.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine, like you saw something?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's go. I'll tell you on the road.
Okay.
You all have a moment to kind of say goodbye to Maman Brigitte. She gives a little,
as he sees her.
she gives you a saucy little smile, Clint, and as you guys leave the room, she smacks your ass. Doesn't seem at all fazed by the fact that her husband is in the room with you. Who he also doesn't seem particularly fazed though, so maybe that's just how they are. And you all pass through the kitchen and into a back courtyard. And the Baron kind of looks around and rolls his shoulders, and you guys hear the kind of like creak of bones rubbing against each other, even though he's in like fleshy form right now. And then he reaches out and traces a hand in like this tall arc in the air, and you guys watch as the outline of an outline of like a almost looks like an arched doorway starts to form. And as that happens, this huge, tall, and like 5 foot wide tree kind of seems to grow up and out of the ground right in front of you. And then he reaches out and he taps the side of the archway, and it swings open, and you can see the kind of shimmer of a portal beyond it, but you can't tell where it's going.
Well, I mean, it's not a van. Are we just going to walk out and be there?
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm God at Crossroads. I never have to go far to get to where I'm going.
Off the Crossroads? Is that, Clinton kind of taps his forehead as he's trying to recall a name. God, the guy with the guitar made songs.
I'm too tired for this. I'm just gonna walk through.
I'm not a devil waiting at the crossroads for you, but I do stand at the crossroads when my people will come looking for the god of death. Now go.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for doing your job. Consider your payment or your debt to the lower pantheon paid.
Amazing.
Thanks for having us.
And she's gonna put her joint in her mouth and walk through.
Clint, as you're about to go through, there's a sharp little whistle behind you.
Oh, and Clint will turn.
And Maman Brigitte is leaning in the doorway and still smiling, got her arms like folded over her chest, and she just sort of winks at you.
Clint runs a hand through his hair and kind of sheepishly grins at her and gives a little wiggle finger wave before he steps back towards the portal. He looks to Baron. Oh, Robert Johnson, that's the feller. And then he'll go through the portal.
As soon as all of you are through the portal, you turn to look back and there's just a big ass tree behind you. No doorway, no Baron, just a tree. And you all are standing on what you realize, having been here, some of you having been here for months during some downtime last season, you realize that you are standing next to a tree on kind of like the outskirts of Damon's property. You've got a good 20-minute walk or so up to the house, but you're not far.
Well, I guess we're not driving, but this counts as being on the road. I suppose I could tell you about what a drink saw thing.
Yeah, I'm curious now.
Son of a bitch.
Chat.
You see Clint reaches down for his phone and frowns. He never gave me the number.
What?
We made a deal, right? I would take a drink.
Are you checking your phone for the number?
Yeah, at this point, Clint will start flipping through trying to find the contact.
Clint, not only is there a number for Manon and McLear in your phone, there are like 50 new numbers with a bunch of names you don't recognize in it.
Holy shit. You recognize this one? And he'll just point to a random name.
Nope.
We know her. Look at it briefly.
You can look over. None of these names are recognizable to you.
No, not a single one.
Okay, I suppose I'll give him a try later, but there's Mananan right there. Okay.
Well, you live quite the life.
Yeah. Well, yeah, speaking of living, and finally he'll put his phone away. Sorry, got distracted a little bit. So I made the deal. I said I'd take a drink in exchange for the number. And the Baron handed me a drink, and I, just tried it. And I drank it all, and it all went dark for a second, and then I woke up, and I was in a bar, and there was the Baron himself, and there was the Baron's friend, who I don't recall his name. He had a cigar too, though. He seemed to know me. So we talked for a little bit. We went bar hopping and drinking and dancing, and there was music, and there was a little bit of food, but it was mostly drinking. And then after a while, they brought me to one of the other bars that got real quiet, and then it was just me and my mom, Brigitte. Kind of had a conversation about what's best for me and what I should be doing a little bit better. Well, then she kissed me and woke up. And at the mention of the kiss, he'll blush again.
Okay.
Coda was half listening until that.
Let me make sure I got this right. You essentially had a whole night's worth of partying in less than a minute.
Yeah.
At least for us.
Clint, make me just a raw wits roll.
We'll do it raw.
I should have thought about that before I said it.
Why?
One success, 2 successes.
And it should be 2.
As you are trying to describe this and they start asking questions for clarification, you realize that the more you talk about it, the less and less you remember.
Yeah. She asked me a question. I don't remember what, but yeah, it was a good time. Do we got any plans to go back to New Orleans anytime soon? I kind of want to visit them next time.
Clint, once we handle everything we need to handle in regards to the labors, if you want to go party in New Orleans, we can go party in New Orleans.
We? Like, really?
Oh, why did I say we? Yes, really.
Hell yeah. We're going to party so hard.
That would be nice. Yeah, but we have a lot of stuff to deal with first.
Yeah. I mean, we'll handle that stuff. And then we'll go and we'll party, and then we'll have a great time. Folks will know who we are and celebrate us. It'll be a good time.
I can't wait to see Damon.
And his weed.
She says as she's like barely keeping her eyes open while she's actively smoking Damon's weed.
Yeah.
It's around this time that you guys get close enough to the house that you start to see the various dryads. And there's a look of like confusion and surprise from most of them when they see you guys. But it doesn't take long for them to sort of all flock your way. And Clint immediately has a small crowd of pretty ladies hanging off of him.
Oh, yeah. Hey there, Amber and Fern, and I'll just start listing off the name he remembers.
You are not entirely sure that that's the right name for these girls, but they all seem quite pleased to see you regardless.
There's a face in hand.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. Get a little relaxing, restoration in, and some cooking again. Oh, it's going to be nice to have some homemade food.
We didn't think you'd be back.
Why not?
Well, I mean, not so soon.
Oh, I mean, we went and handled business, babies.
Oh, you poor thing. And they're like looking at how like fucked up all of you look. You need like food, like lots of food and sleep.
Yeah. Well, sleep can wait.
Definitely sleep.
Oh, sleep's certainly gonna wait for you. And she kind of winks.
Yeah, I got some things I got to work out. I'll appreciate your assistance.
I mentioned that I need like 30 ice packs earlier, right? Yeah, I mentioned that.
Yeah. We'll put you in an ice bath.
Oh, that sounds so good. All right, let's speed this walking.
They kind of whisk you guys up towards the house, where Asterope meets you all at the door, and she kind of looks over at Oliver and her eyes go really wide. Hi.
I'm hurting all over.
I can tell. Let's get you inside, and I think I'm gonna withdraw some of Damon's stash. You need it. And then you're gonna take a real long nap.
Thank you.
And she kind of loops her arm with Oliver's and hurries him up the stairs into the room that is usually reserved for him before disappearing and going to get some of Damon's stash.
Take good care of him up there.
I always do. Coda, what's your plans now that you're here?
What a great question. Honestly, smoking more and like actually like taking a resting bath, like the bath where you like soak in them. And yeah, one of those, and she'll just like smoke while doing it. And if there's food that she can be munching on while doing that, she'll just be like in the bath munching on food, smoking, and then probably will like watch the moon for a bit and then eventually go to sleep in one of the rooms. I think she still feels odd about like doing stuff with the what are they called?
The dryads?
The dryads. So she's like, no thanks, and we'll go into our room and like chillax.
Well, one of them will at least get you settled. She'll show you into one of the bathrooms. There's this really deep clawfoot tub that she fills up with like hot water and like Epsom salts. And she'll bring you up like, bring you up another like rolled joint and some snacks. And probably like a drink if you want one. But she'll leave you to your own devices once she's gotten you kind of settled in. And she basically just sort of pauses at the door and goes, I'm going to come back and check on you in like an hour to make sure that you haven't drowned. But otherwise, I'll leave you alone.
Thank you. Yeah, and that'll be it.
Excellent. Clint.
Yes.
What's your plans, my guy?
Well, I mean, resting is nice.
You have a number of pretty ladies who would love to spend time with you, but if you would rather just go nap, they'll also let you do that.
Yeah, Clint feels over his, his physique and check in. I don't feel any holes. I don't feel any bruises. There's a little soft spot here. I think we're good to go, ladies.
Listen, just because you don't have negatives doesn't mean you don't feel the wounds when you touch your chest.
Oh yeah, he is putting on the act as if he does not feel them.
Okay. Just to be clear, in that case, I think a roll is in order.
Absolutely.
Let's go with manipulation and presence.
You got it. That is 5 successes.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, no, they buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. You end up with 3 of them hanging off of you as you trudge up the stairs. You're practically having to carry them. And before you get to the room that you normally stay in, you are mostly naked.
Well, that was quicker than I expected. Oh, here, get rid of them too. Shimmy out of his drawers.
And that is the last thing that Oliver hears from behind his closed door before your door closes. Oliver.
Yes.
Asterope leads you into your room. She rolls a blunt for you herself. Hands it over. Lights it, and when you try to kind of beg off, she kind of gives you that firm don't argue with me look.
Okay.
You're not going anywhere. This is just going to help you sleep and help with the pain.
All right. Thank you so much.
You have to hold it in. Don't just breathe it all out immediately.
Okay, there we go. I think. To be fair, it could be worse. I could be bleeding a lot right now.
Yeah, what happened?
Clint sort of punched me, but it wasn't him. Well, it was him, but he was under the influence. Not of a substance, of a person. We fought Gwen, and she, while leaving, told him to stab me, and I sort of convinced him to stab me in a less stabby way.
So he punched you instead?
Yeah, it amounted to a punch. He basically stabbed me with his toothpick when it's small, and that most of the force was in his fist, so it was like a punch with a little bit of stabbing.
I see. But you're okay?
Oh yeah, I'm great. I just need to sleep, and I hope the pain is gone in the morning.
Okay.
How have you been?
Worried about you?
I am sorry that I have not done much to alleviate those worries right now.
You're a scion. You're never going to be able to do much to alleviate my worries.
I suppose so. The upside is that we complete the labor and we didn't screw it up this time, so that's good.
That is good.
Yeah, just 2 more to go, and they're the ones I'm kind of most scared about.
Why?
Well, on the one hand, we have, the Greek pantheon. That's sort of like the quintessential origin for labor. So just tons and tons of myths about them, and they're myths for a reason. There's some pretty strenuous things in there, stuff I'm scared of even having to repeat, or if they come up with something new for us, I just know it's going to be something challenging. And then for the Sedjets, their pantheon, I don't know a whole lot about them. I'm not really sure what to expect, but the few things I do know leads me to believe it's going to be probably something dangerous and maybe sand related, or maybe not. Like I said, I don't know.
Well, you're not wrong about the Dodecatheon. I mean, that's the pantheon I'm tied to, and it's a lot. But you'll be great. You're great at most things.
Thank you. I try.
Do you want me to leave you alone so you can sleep?
Absolutely not. I want you right here, because that's how I'm going to be the most comfortable.
Okay.
I'll try to manage a smile, but it's more of a pain grimace, but I attempted it nonetheless.
She ends up kind of crawling in to curl up like beside you, and she's got a book in hand, and if you will let her, she's basically going to get you settled so that you're like curled up with your head like against her chest. And she is going to read to you, and you realize after a few minutes that she is basically reading a story in ancient Greek to you. And it is a story about a hero taking on a series of labors. Not Hercules, though. This isn't one that you've heard of.
Very interesting. In that case, I will be very enthralled about in regards to it up until I probably pass out.
Yeah, it won't take long for you to pass out. She doesn't get terribly far, but you fall asleep to this hero's tales kind of being woven through your dreams, and like one hand kind of playing with your hair as you doze off.
All right.
Okay. Some of you are more hurt than others.
Valid.
Who's hurt?
Literally all of you are hurt.
We are all really hurt.
No, I'm doing fine.
You're right, my bad.
So let's see. Coda, what kind of damage did you take? Did you take lethal or aggravated?
I took lethal, I believe. It was just an attack from the Fenris wolves, so I think it was lethal.
Okay, and you're at -4 for your wound level? Like just above incapacitated?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to take you about a week to recover.
Bet.
Clint, what are you at?
Clint is at 3, which would be the end of -1.
All right, so it only takes you a couple of days.
Yeah.
And Oliver recovers faster than everybody else because his was all bashing.
Yeah.
Normally, let's see. Yeah, you're basically back to normal by about noon the next day, Oliver.
Right on.
In fact, you wake up pretty much at the point where you're, you feel much better when you wake up in the morning. You're a little bit stiff, but it only takes you like a couple of minutes of like rolling your shoulders and stretching to feel perfectly normal again.
Awesome. Good for me.
Is there anything in particular any of you would like to do while you're here? Because you know you're going to be here at least a week.
I mean, I don't mind helping Damon out. I understand that there's hard work here and there.
Okay, here's the thing. You can't be doing a bunch of heavy labor if you want to heal in a reasonable time frame. The more you pretend you're not hurt, the longer it takes you to heal.
Okay. In that case, Clint will just try and get a little bit better at cooking while he's there.
I will take advantage of whatever sort of reading materials Damon has in regards to the Dodecatheon and Sejet, just to potentially help give us a little bit of a leg up in what to expect that we might be dealing with in the future.
He doesn't have much in the way of the Sejet. He doesn't even really have a ton of reading materials about the Dodecatheon beyond the stuff that you've already read, like the Odyssey and things like that. However, you are on a farm surrounded by dryads, some of whom may have been alive back when all of that stuff was like current.
Yeah, in that case, I'll probably go into sort of interview mode and sort of have a journal and a pen as I go around and interview, probably starting with Asterope and then the various other dryads. First, of just confirmation of stories that I'd already read before, like the Odyssey and such, just to see what lines up and what was different or what actually happened and things like that. And then also just after that, just additional information of how things were, what to expect.
Okay. Well, the first thing, I'm not going to make you roll for this. The first thing you realize from talking to the dryads is that all of the stories are true, but not necessarily the way that they're written down.
Right.
Most of them have been simplified, and are far less, they happen far less easily and far less safely than the stories imply.
Mm-hmm.
The Nemean lion story kind of implies that he went a few rounds and then figured it out and slaughtered the lion. And they're like, oh no, it was closer to a month.
Okay.
Of this constant back and forth. And he got really hurt a couple of times and had to retreat before he went back and tried again. It was a much more involved and painful and nearly fatal affair than it is in the story. But that doesn't make for a great story, so...
I'm writing all this down. It's all right, that is actually kind of reassuring.
Is it?
Well, in a way that's... If it takes us more effort than it seemed that Heracles and the other heroes did, it's to know it's not us, and that's just sort of the normal way it tends to go. It's just we don't see that in the stories.
I suppose that's fair. I mean, I'd feel better if I knew that it was something that would be, handled easily, but I guess if it makes you feel better to know that it wasn't as easy as the stories make it sound.
Yeah, it can go either one of two ways from the way I see. Either it's easy for us and good on us, I guess we're ahead of the crowd then, or it goes a little bit more to how it actually was and we don't need to feel bad because that's how it actually was.
I suppose that's fair. The biggest story that you hear from Asterope in particular actually isn't anything to do with Heracles and his labors or anything like that. By the time you kind of get around to her again to go a little bit more in depth in your second wave of interviews, you've already heard most of the stuff about the labors and Heracles and whatever. So she's like, I need you to understand that Odysseus was a dick. I don't really have anything that I can add that the others haven't already told you, but I can tell you that Odysseus was kind of a jerk. And I'm really over the fact that the stories all sort of are hyper focused on the guys. It would be nice to see them, talk about how clever his wife was, and not make it this like desperate attempt to, justify her still being around when he got home. Anyway, but
I mean, you make a good point. Penelope held off over 100 suitors for nearly 20 years. That's impressive.
Right? But most people don't think about that because of the way the story is told.
You make a solid point. I won't lie and say it is a little bit of a culture shock knowing that Odysseus sucked, but I 100% believe you, and it's, I guess, not too surprising.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was very impressive. He was just also a jerk.
Which, makes sense. People with impressive resumes sometimes have an inflated ego, and that leads to a spiral.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're just like that from the beginning.
Here, I guess my biggest point, and the thing I want you to remember, is that the women always played much bigger roles in the stories led on. They were much more important to the stories than the mortals who wrote them would make you believe.
Nod, write that down. Gotcha. That is very helpful, and I will keep that in mind.
You want lunch?
Yes.
Okay. Coda, is there anything you're doing with your time?
Yeah, she's after what happened with them, she's doing some more deep thinking, but now with the deep thinking, she's doing some actions in response to those deep thinking. So she definitely messages Shango on the side, texts him a few things she's been feeling. And then she's going to try and leave a message for Net.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the message?
Okay. I kind of feel.
Did you think I wasn't gonna ask? Come on.
Oh no! I got it somewhat ready, but not really. I also felt like this is something she was going to try to write while she was in the bathtub, so it definitely got like smeared, and she's like, "Shit, why did I do this high in the bathtub?" But okay. So message. She'll go. Okay. Hey, so take two. That conversation we had didn't go the best, but okay, this is I'm so fucking stupid. Okay, well, I'm not fucking stupid. Okay, we've been, or I guess I've been walking around on. So okay, when we deal with animals at the shelter, I promise this is going somewhere. When we deal with animals at the shelter, sometimes they get like they have like their little bones or like break or something, and if people don't pay attention to it, they heal crookedly. And I feel like our relationship was kind of like a fractured bone, but specifically like a green stick fracture, which you probably don't know what that means. A green stick fracture is typically like a fracture that when it breaks, it still kind of stays apart, attached in some other places because the bones is still soft, and it usually happens in younger kids or things with flexible bones. But anyways, we have been walking on a green stick fracture that healed, and I felt like the conversation we had was us breaking it so it could be set properly and so we could actually heal. I'm sorry for hurting you. We fought Gwen yesterday or some time ago. I don't remember. I've been crazy, but I'm sorry for hurting you, and I really would like if we could talk again. I'd like to meet in person if we could, but if we can't, I'd like for us to talk. And in the moment that I was fighting, I kind of felt renewed in a way. I've been dancing and going around and figuring out who I am, what I am, and I hope that I can bring you, Gwen, or bring Gwen to some kind of judgment or justice or whatever. I know I'm not able to do this really with Stefan, and because he was given the option to change and he took it. Gwen didn't. And she's hurt you a lot too. So I'm hoping that maybe this could possibly fix what's happening with us, but also just talking. But anyways, I never meant to hurt you, Nat. So, holy shit, this message is really long. Oh God. I'm sorry for hurting you, and maybe we should fight or something. I think that would get out a lot of the stress between the two of us. Anyways, I love your face and you and your fire and conviction, and I really hope we could talk again soon, maybe. Anyways, stay safe out there. Bye. And then she'll end the message, I guess, and then just be like, holy shit, that was really long.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Was that written or was that like a voicemail?
It was like a voice memo situation.
Oh my God.
Sent.
Okay. Amazing.
Yeah.
So that whole rambly mess, there was... Oh, poor Coda. Okay. Sweet, sweet girl. All right. Is there anything else you want to do?
I mean, she messaged Shango, but that's we can deal with that when Shango.
Okay.
Yeah, or unless you want me to read what she wrote, but yeah.
You get the feeling that Shango's a little busy. We'll probably revisit that next session, where we'll go over the text conversation between Coda and Shango.
Yeah. So then that's all she's really doing, and reflecting. And by reflecting, I mean she's smoking a lot.
Excellent. Well, you're laid up for the better part of a week. Clint, after like day 2, day 3, you're able to kind of get up and help out around the farm.
Excellent.
Damon always has, well, I shouldn't say Damon, the Dryads always have heavy things for you to lift. I was going to have you roll, but I'm looking at your sheet. I don't think you're aware of the fact that they are doing it purely for their own enjoyment after a while. Like it started out where there was genuinely like, oh no, this really does need to be moved and we're, you're a lot stronger than us. But after a while, it's just for the sake of getting to watch the rippling pectorals.
Oh, and Clint is super into it too, given his recent acquisition of a new knack and the ability to just lift things effortlessly. He's out there shirtless, moving things around, having to act like some things are heavy every once in a while. But he's living it up and loving the attention.
Love that. Amazing.
I like to imagine that this is also while Oliver's trying to interview them and constantly has to like stand in the way to block the view from Clint so he can get actual answers, because otherwise they're just not paying attention.
Yes, absolutely. Love that. That's awesome.
In the background of this mockumentary being made, there's Clint in like skin tight jeans and no shirt, just walking around in boots, carrying 2 bales of hay on either shoulder. Ladies, gentlemen, excuse me, pardon me. Every time.
Oliver at that point, so he gives that heavy sigh at the same time. There's like 5 Dryads that all kind of do that kind of sigh.
Oh, Clint, Mr. B, I didn't know you felt that way about me.
No, okay. Back to my questions.
Pardon me, ma'am.
The girls all like draw straws. The one who gets who draws the shortest one ends up having to interview with Oliver, while the rest of them drag Clint away for a roll in the hay that he just pulled out of the barn.
I'll try not to be hurt by that.
Oh, another mess I'll have to sweep up. Oh, don't mind me if I do.
And to be fair, none of the ones who draw straws are Asterope. She's always happy to answer questions if you've got them.
And for that, I am thankful.
You guys do get to spend time with Damon. He is happy to teach Clint some more recipes and to learn from Clint more recipes. Probably on about day 4 or 5, he ends up putting on like a big barbecue for everybody. Because frankly, it's not often that he has like a bunch of other scions around.
We're starting to become
We're
regulars.
best friends.
And on that day is when a familiar face arrives. It is the daughter of the Baron that you all saw, who was in that kind of like gothy Victorian-esque look. She what did you say?
I said swoon.
She shows up around that time, joins you guys for the barbecue. You're in what you can pick up, because when she first gets there, her first like day or two, she spends most of her time kind of holed up in Damon's office. You don't know exactly what's going on, but you know that they seem to be having some pretty like intense and very private conversations at times. But on like day 7, when you guys when Coda's finally starting to feel better and everything's good, you know, you have another cookout and she sort of comes out to join all of you.
Oh, Charlotte, right?
We?
Pleasure to see you. What brings you around these parts?
Damon is an old friend. He also mentioned you might need a ride. I'm not as efficient as my father, but I can get you most places you want to go.
That would be appreciated.
I
The
call
way you want to
shotgun.
go. Oh, by the way, when she arrived in the car that you guys had. You get the feeling she might have driven it back from New Orleans for you.
Oh, amazing.
Thanks for that as well.
We do have like 2 tasks that we have to hand in.
That is true.
Wait.
We do have that.
Y'all finished the writing and y'all figured out what was going on with that property, right?
We just need to sort of turn them in now.
Yeah.
If you would like to do yours first, Coda, I wouldn't mind the few extra days just to go over it for a couple more drafts of editing, just minor changes here and there.
Who you all need to talk to?
Coda will look through her stuff and then go, I needed to talk to Mithras from the, let's see.
The Azada.
The Azada, thank you. I knew.
King of the whole damn Pantheon.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
And I need to speak with the celestial bureaucracy, specifically Huangdi.
And while they're talking to other folks, I suppose you and I could talk.
You want to talk to me, big man?
I mean, just get to know you a little bit while we wait around for them to do their stuff, you know?
I suppose. Well, I suppose we start with, Mithras. I gotta make a phone call to make sure I know where I'm going.
Okay.
Take your time.
Yeah, pretty set on my decision, so the best that we did mine first.
Well, you gotta make sure you are fully set. He not gonna like it if you show up and you start changing your mind, getting wishy-washy.
I'm not. I know. I'm confident in my decision.
Okay. She steps outside, makes a phone call for a few minutes. and then comes back in. All right. You got your things.
Mm-hmm.
I got most of my stuff. Give me 1 second. Let me go get my backpack. Wait, I don't have a backpack. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I have everything I need.
All right. Give me 1 moment. She kind of taps away at this smartphone that she's got. It looks kind of vaguely like yours, but hers is like this sleek silver that makes you think more of like chrome than anything else. But it's weird because when the light catches it in certain ways, it takes on like this colorful shine, like sheen to it. Where it's not like a static silver anymore. All right. My understanding is that he is in Atlanta on business at the moment, so that's an easy trip.
I like Atlanta.
Yeah, they got fine faces out there. Some cool shops too. We can have a good time there.
Yes. I grab Mr. Cat or Pele, and head to the car.
She leads you out to the car, and then climbs into the driver's seat. While waiting for everybody to climb in. And once everybody is in and you guys all kind of wave goodbye to Damon and the girls, she pulls out onto the road. And you see that she's like put her smartphone up onto like the holder that's up on the dash. Where you would normally put it up if you wanted to use your GPS. And she actually taps on the phone and pulls up what looks like a GPS program, but it doesn't look like any you've ever seen. There's weird symbols that you haven't seen before, and everything is in this really odd kind of color palette. And she reaches over and she taps a couple of the symbols on the screen, and these odd maps that don't look like normal maps at all. Kind of flash up, and she'll tap something, it'll go away, and it'll go back to a normal map for a minute before she hits another one. And after a moment, I need everybody to make me perception and awareness.
Oh boy.
What? So I'm fully healed now?
Everybody is fully healed.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh, I get 2
cool.
successes.
Perception and awareness. That is 6.
I got 2 successes.
Modifier.
Wow.
Wow.
The 2
Also
squad.
2 successes.
2, 2, and 2. All right. The thing that you guys realize, and you realize it almost a little too late, is that as she is driving, she has picked up speed, almost to the point where it's a little concerning. And then she hears, y'all hold on now. And then she grabs the wheel and yanks it hard to the left. And the back tires kind of squeal across this back country road, as the back of the car kind of whips around and the front turns hard to the left, and she kind of drifts, and it looks like y'all are about to go into like a deep ditch on the side of the road. And then you realize that there is like this weird kind of shifting shimmer in the air, as she hard left turns into it, and you all kind of close your eyes tight, expecting to go into the ditch or run into like the tree that's just on the other side of it or something like that. But instead, you feel the ride kind of even out really suddenly, and you can actually feel the car decelerating. And when your eyes open, you are on looks like an interstate. And you can see the skyline of Atlanta in the distance.
Oh my goodness.
I'm never going to get used to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a neat trick.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't normally have to do it so suddenly, but because of all the magic around Damon's farm, the ability to fold space and everything to get to where I need to go, it's a little bit more difficult, and sometimes the portals can pop up in weird places.
Huh. Interesting. We've met a scion who does something similar with his car, and we sort of had to force ourselves to space out for it to work.
At the mention of that, Clint pulls his phone out.
Okay.
He's just going to start texting the friend that has that car.
Okay. Kareem?
Yeah, he's just sending a text to Kareem. It's like, hey, how you been? Just checking in with him.
All right, you do not immediately get an answer back.
Coda will ask, so being able to do that, is it just something your Pantheon can do? Or is your phone like your birthday gift for becoming a scion?
Oh, my phone is my birthright. I think you all got phones too, yeah?
Yeah, we got ours in Anvil.
Yeah, I didn't get one like that. Mine was from my pops. But the ability to travel like that's not a Pantheon thing. That's called psychopomp.
Oh, she'll look at Pele and go, "Oh, he can do that," or "You can do that." She says to Pele out loud, but in
Pele kind of swishes his tail a little bit, and
Hold up, Matt. Your cat can drive?
No, okay.
No, it means he can travel between worlds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about the passage yet, but my understanding is that cats can travel between the underworld and the overworld in hours.
Huh. I wonder if I can do that.
I think you would know if you had psychopomp. When I first got it, the thing I knew was that I could always find someone if I needed to find them. I could call them on the phone, and then I would know where they were.
Oh wow!
And it just got more than that. I always know how to find home no matter where I am.
That's nice.
And now that I've been at this for a good while, I can travel across the world if I want to.
So no one can hide from you.
It's not quite that easy. Not everybody gonna answer their phone. Not everybody gonna have a phone in our line of work.
I always check mine.
Well, then I will be able to find you as long as you can, pick up and I can hear your voice, but...
I'll keep that in mind. If I need a ride or if you ever need help, just give me a call.
Okay. I'm not typically a taxi service. I came because I owed Damon a favor.
Yeah, I mean, like if, later on we decide to go out and get drinks or something, we'd be able to keep in contact. Here's my phone number for you.
And there it is.
Yeah.
She takes a little slip of paper and pockets it. I'll keep this in mind, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. If you ever need it, just give me a call, text me, whatever you prefer doing. It's fine.
Oh, Clint.
Yeah, what's up?
Nothing. I just every second of the day I just think, oh, Clint.
Based on what I was hearing back at the farm, you ain't the only one.
Ugh. I don't need to hear that. Ew.
Neither do I.
Coda just put her headphones in. Trying
Clint,
to have
like,
a damn
wait, what?
conversation.
I don't understand what happened there.
I don't need to hear about your doings and don'ts. Like, she's like muttering to herself.
And Clint's just like confused.
Oh boy. Okay. You all drive into Atlanta, and after a while she pulls up outside of a like a one-story building. And the sign says Divan Restaurant and Bar.
Oh, we're going to have drinks and food again? All right.
Okay.
We're here on business, Clint.
Oh,
Now wait.
yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I'll wait here with the car.
Thank
Last
Thank
time I
you.
went to a place with hookah, I was there for a long time, so best
Right.
not to tempt myself.
Partying must be in the family, but
Well, the Baron is my da, so yeah.
sick. All right, business it is. Ugh. Thank you for bringing us here.
Yup. You don't take too long. I got things to do.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Right, yeah. Let's get to it.
You all head inside. The first thing you notice when you walk into this place is that it has the look of a place that has probably won awards. It's kind of fancy. Seems pretty high end, very homey. In its own way. There are signs, one of them that points upstairs or to a back room, sorry, not upstairs, to a back room where it talks about, like, that's, you know, it says bar and hookah this way. And then there's another sign that points off to like this kind of this dining room where you can see like these beautiful, like like modern but crystal chandeliers. And what look like handcrafted dividers are set up to give tables a little bit of privacy and things like that. You're certainly not dressed for where you are. But it's beautiful and it smells amazing. You could tell just from like a glance at what are on people's tables is that this is like Mediterranean and Mediterranean food, that sort of thing.
We got enough time to get a euro or two, right?
We'll see about that afterwards.
Okay.
Coda's a little nervous, but also excited to do this. So she's like rubbing her hands on the side of her pants and stuff.
There is a hostess who kind of makes her way over to the three of you as you walk in. She kind of gives you a once over. Can I help you?
Oh, look to Coda.
Mm-mm.
You're the one charged for this one.
Yep. I'm here to talk with. Huh. Can I just say Mithras? I have a meeting. I'm here to meet with someone important. There should maybe be a table for us.
What are your names?
I'm Coda Massaquoi.
Nice to
And
meet you, ma'am.
yep, we have Clint, Brazos, and Mr. B. Oliver Bright.
Okay.
Um,
You got there eventually.
she makes her way over to her little podium stand thing. You see her tapping on what looks like a tablet. Oh, I see. Okay. Follow me, please.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
God, I hate fancy places. She mutters under her breath, but to the group.
All right. Just take a breath. You're doing all right.
Yeah, it'll be fine. They're just same people. They're eating food and drinking like you or me.
It's not the same. Sorry, it could be the old habits.
You are led through the hookah bar, which has that kind of distinct smell that only hookah bars could have. I don't know how to describe it. It's like a mishmash of these kind of heady, smoky smells. Some are almost sweet. Some are spicy. It's not unpleasant. It's just a lot. And you move your way through there and into a what you realize is a private dining room that is back beyond that. She opens the door and steps to the side and then gestures you all in. Mr. Attar is at the table over there. And she points to like the only occupied table in the room, where a slender, a kind of slender but very strongly built, like swimmer's build kind of thing. Man sits at a table. He's got he's clean shaven. There's a little bit he's got very dark hair, but there's just a tiny little hint of pepper at the temples. And he's got a kind of he's got very, very like deep dark brown eyes, and a very deep tan.
Is this the filler?
I believe so. She has her hands in her pockets, but as she walks closer to this person, she'll like clear her throat and go, nice to meet you, Mr. Attar. I'm Coda Massaquoi, Scion on Best Step.
He kind of looks up, and he has a kind of slow, very subdued smile kind of spreads across his face, and it hits all of you as he does it that despite the fact that it is a very kind of subtle, not overly in your face, beaming ear to ear kind of smile, despite that he still kind of lights up a room. And it's hard to look at anything but him when he starts to smile. But he stands and kind of holds out a hand to Coda and speaks in these very like deep kind of soft tones. And in this way that is very kind of, I don't want to say practiced, but he comes off very like polished and like he was born to a certain class or with a certain amount of class without really trying. He's wearing a very well tailored suit, but the tie is a little bit loose at the neck. like he may have just wrapped up a very long day at the office, and has just sort of relaxed just a little bit. It's nice to meet you, Miss Massaquoi.
She'll try not to judge, but yeah, she'll shake his hands, and then go, and this is the rest of my band, or the band that I'm in. Y'all can introduce yourselves, yeah?
Yeah, nice to meet you, sir. I'm Clint Brazos. I'm a scion of the Morgan.
And he will shake Clint's hand and
They'll
give
reach out and return it.
another smile before he extends a hand to Oliver.
Shake it. Oliver Bright, scion of Ogma.
Good to meet you. I am Mithra, or Mithras. I go by many names. I am the Yazada, god of contracts and the preserver of truth and the law. Please, sit.
Don't mind if I do.
I'll sit.
Of course.
He will also sit. You realize as you sit down that there are already meals in front of each of you. Clint has a gyro in front of him. You guys would have whatever on that sort of menu you would have liked. You just didn't notice that it was there until you sat down.
Oh, thank you for getting everything ready for us. And Clint will start tucking in.
Grilled chicken and plain white rice, my favorite.
Really?
Yes.
You know, you could put salt and pepper on there, at least add some flavor.
At least.
But it's perfect the way it is.
Hey, so, business.
Yes, I am eager to hear what you decided.
So, this was honestly a pretty perfectly assigned labor for me. I'm really passionate about shelters and animals and such. I went through a few people. All pretty great, not gonna lie, all pretty great. But the one I settled on, she'll dig in her backpack and pull out a folder and show a picture of a person and like whatever information she was able to gather on them that's legal, I guess. And we'll say this is Kai Reed's, 55. Their current employment is, well, I guess you could say odd jobs. They've been a pizza box folder, food deliverer, taxi driver. They also collect bottles for recycling, anything under the sun. They've had difficulty keeping a job because they were, for a bit, arrested for, where did I write? For dog fighting. Which I know you may wonder, how could a person who was put into jail for dogfighting and such be the person that can rightfully take care of animals in a shelter and such? But I worked with them for a bit, and they said when they were put away and such, they felt themselves in the place of what they put their animals in, the dogs in. They were now locked away in prison, pit against other inmates, and in a way felt lesser than, I guess, themselves. And I don't know, I was able to hear their story. And furthermore, their program, the group that they were with, kind of led a initiative program, I guess, where inmates worked with retired or recovering dogs that were formerly like abused or injured and such like and stuff like that. And she ended up keeping one of the dogs. I actually, here's a picture, and she'll pull out a picture, and it's a like 3-leg pit bull that's like kind of battered. And she's like, she calls him Tripod. And ever since she's left prison, because she's not in it anymore, she's been volunteering at kill shelters. I can show you the records. Anytime she works at a kill shelter, the kill rate dropped significantly. A lot of these dogs are going to homes. Money is being raised to take care of them. She's pretty passionate, and something that really stuck out with me, she said that she's hoping that, one second, where did I? Yeah, so she says she's really hoping that at some point while helping these dogs and doing all the work that she's doing, she can work towards redeeming herself by helping the same animals that she was once hurting. And I felt like she was trying hard. And this is someone who actually saw what they did and willing to change themselves and is putting in the effort to change themselves. So this is who I chose.
Do you hand over the folder?
Yeah, the whole, like, she's like first just going through it and showing, and then she'll like put it all back together and slide it over and go, here you go.
He takes the folder and looks through it, especially as you continue to talk. I see. And she was imprisoned for her acts with the dog fighting rings?
Yes.
And she served her entire sentence?
Yes. And the second she left, she's gone into, well, the various jobs that she's been doing, but she is regularly working at kill shelters, animal shelters, anywhere that's helping animals. And she even took in the dog that she kind of was a part of the program, the rehabilitation program that was at her facility.
You have a soft spot for redemption stories.
I sure do. But yeah, I have a soft spot, but also I have a soft spot for seeing people actually move towards redemption, not just the idea of redemption.
Set aside the raw facts, which you spelled out admirably, and I appreciate that. Set that aside. Tell me about what about her as a person made you decide that she was who should receive such a gift.
She is someone that shows that she can analyze problems, she can trouble solve. At first she said she was only doing the dog fighting for money, and she was good at training animals and such. It was just for money at first, and then it evolved into what it did. I think this is a person that understands business. This is a person that understands the consequences of their actions. I believe she has the ability to be not humble. What's when someone humility?
Reticent?
Yeah. That. And I also just see in her, and I felt it in her, that this is someone who actually has a deep love for animals and a deep ability to... After what she's done, I think she is able to see who could be a good match and a good person for animals to go home to. After seeing, because she knows the signs, and I think she'll have a good judgment of character after everything she's gone through, done, and such. I hope that makes sense.
It does. Oh, very well. You seem to have done your research. Were there others that you looked at, or did you just get lucky and find the right one on the first try?
Oh, no. I would never just choose one person and go. This is really important. An animal shelter? Yeah. So, 1 second. Let me go to that part of my notes. Yeah, so there was a few other people. There's a guy I ran into, not ran into, but looked into, Spencer Bradley, 41. And at this point, she's now pulling out other folders because she only grabbed one folder because she's like, we only need this person. Spencer Bradley, 41, widow father of 3. He runs a pop-up animal care center. He does grooming outside of his family RV. His employees are volunteers and his kids who are all involved in the program. Do you want to hear about these other people I've found, or do you just want... Are you okay with me just...
You seem excited to share. I'm happy to listen.
Okay. Well, so I worked with all these people I worked with as well, mind you, because I used to work in many animal shelters, kill shelters. I still technically am becoming a vet, even though I've been pulled away for all this stuff. But anyways, so Spencer, his late wife, she started the organization as a pastime, but it slowly kind of evolved into being their life. So it's kind of his form of coping / honoring his wife is continuing this program. And I felt he was a good option. He definitely cares about the animals, but I think he already has his family backing him up with this organization. I think he already has a setup. I think he has a setup. He has a place he's moving forward. I don't really think he's looking forward or he would benefit from having a whole building and such. I feel like that's not what they want to do. They want to be able to pop up and go anywhere with animal care, but not have a set building. So that's why I didn't really go with him. And I think he'd be more beneficial with his family being able to go around, pop up, and take care of animals. Now, there's Saoirse Welsh. She's pretty cool. I believe she was a poli-sci major, YouTuber, vlogger, such. She kind of led a movement in her town and towns around her to encourage the TNR, so like trap, neuter, release practices, to control the population of strays. She was pretty cool. She raised money to purchase money for like local shelters and low-income individuals, and she's volunteered a lot. I liked her energy, and she has a very attractive personality, but I think she'd be a great addition to helping others who are not being heard. But I really don't think this is another person who I think needs to be on the go and not just settle down in one place, which is why I chose Kai, because I think Kai is someone who needs to be in a place, has a place, and builds and grows from there. They need a place to root and grow. And that's why I didn't choose the other two, and I chose Kai. Oh, sorry. I guess I got really passionate about that.
No, it's good. I am glad that you are passionate about the things you have asked to do, and that I made the right choice in giving you this task. Yeah. Very well, Miss Massaquoi, you can consider your labor for the Azada Pantheon complete. I will ensure that Miss Kai is provided with the appropriate legal documentation and support to open the rescue.
Amazing. And would it be too much if I keep checking in to see that they're doing well? Because I mean, I would love to see how the shelter and stuff is going along, but I get it if you want me to like step away, because now I no longer need to work on it. But I think it'd be fucking awesome. Excuse my language. No, it'd be
Miss
fucking
Massaquoi,
great.
you are welcome to go wherever you would like. I should warn you that it won't be clear that this is coming from us. This will all be handled through a shell corporation that will provide her with the means and property rights. My pantheon wants to do good in the world, but we don't necessarily need our name stamped on everything.
That makes sense.
So feel free to stop in, check on her, help out, volunteer as much as you like. Just don't expect to find me there.
Amazing.
Is there anything else I can do for all of you? How's the food?
Oh, this food's great.
Oh, I haven't even eaten.
Well,
Clint
feel
has
free to
like-
dig in, or I can have them bring you a to-go box.
Are we in a rush? He
Not
says to
really.
the two. Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead, dig in.
I mean, I'm good with what I have. I don't think I'll need a go box, but thank you. It's been excellent.
Coda's just gonna dig into her food.
Okay. Well, as you all dig in and have your meal, what you all don't see is that a worker from the kitchen takes out a to-go box to your friend who is waiting in the car for you.
Beat me to it.
While you all are eating. And I think, even though it's a little bit early, we're going to go ahead and call it there. It's the cleanest break I can find. Thank you, everybody, for joining us